Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you Kanicki's Answer Me with co-host Jack Kanicki and Bob Spur as panelists today. Only 3 of us today because we did start a bit late, so we can get through all the questions that Jack has prepared for us. And we are off the back of the 2-2 draw against Chelsea. We'll be we'll be touching on the Chelsea game, bit more on the Harry Kane situation. You know, with Grealish going to City, that's kind of changed a little bit. We'll also be talking a bit on Romero, a bit on what transfer we need to go for next after Romero, and so on, and whatever else Jack has cooked up for us. But Jack, how are you, my man?
Keeping well, David. You know, it's good to see a good comeback. I know David loves a good comeback. He loves one in FIFA as well. It's nice to see Bergwijn score. You know, in a way, maybe prove a bit of the haters wrong. You know, David. You know, credits where credits due. Good to see. You know, just Spurs maybe make a couple of Chelsea faces. You know, tonight a bit more sour.
No, look, absolutely delighted. We do have to remember they are Premier League champions as well, Champions League champions as well. So, you know, they are hot in form at the minute. But Bob, how are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, big up, mate. Thanks for having me on. Absolutely delighted. I've got a few Chelsea mates who are absolutely gutted, mate, that they were 2-0 up and sending me all this stick over. Where's Harry Kane? Rah, 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 and all this. So much stick. You know what? I didn't send anything. I've not sent anything back. After that equaliser went in, and that's killing them even worse.
Just send them back if it's not you giggling. That's what I usually do.
That's it. No, I've not sent anything. I'm going to wait. Now, they're still giving me stick. Oh yeah, because of this, because of that. I've not said a word. Like you said, I'll choose my words carefully before I reply.
Just send them 2-2. That's all you have to say about.
That's it, mate. Yeah,
something like that, or a voice note of you giggling. That'll do enough. But look, I do want to welcome in some of the Harris Army before we do get into it. I want to give William McKenzie a special mention. William, I know you did put in a super chat. It is gone from the chat. I can't bring it up, but I do appreciate the super chat. It was 10 New Zealand dollars. Absolute legend. Thank you for the support.
Very
and he
generous,
just said underneath it, guys, absolute hero, my man. What an absolute legend. Let's welcome more of the Harris Army in. And as well, guys,
big up, William.
Make sure you do smash this like button on the stream. Make sure you smash the subscribe button on the channel if you're new. Make sure if you're enjoying what Bob says to get over, check out his channel. Smash the subscribe on that. And as well, guys, you know, feel free to get in the super chats and help support the channel. You know, we have a lot of big content coming up. Fan shows every Monday as well if you want to grab a membership for that too. But look, let's welcome the Harris Army. And we have Steve Westhad. He says, criticism is an opinion. Don't read it if you don't want everything positive. Okay. Yep. I presume he's bickering with someone in the comments. Philip Brady.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, him and Philip. Go on the two boys. Look, guys, we're all Spurs. Good result today, too. Come on. Catman is saying big up Philip. Tottenham Tantrums in the building. Dermot, keeping well. Dermot. Good day for you. You know, a lot of followers on Instagram and that. I'm delighted for you. Bob Spur TV. He's stirring the pot. Celery Agent, good to see you back around again, my man. I hope things are well. And he says hashtag Harris Army. You know, look, everyone get that hashtag, you know, trending. We have Shamu. Kept me in with all the streams throughout the games. Big up, Shamu. Really appreciate that. I'm seeing thoughts on Nuno. I'm backing him. Yeah, I think we're all backing him, man. I think we all made that pretty clear when we all done our streams on him that we were all going to back him. We have no option but to back him, my man. William McKenzie says hello to Harris Army. Absolute legend. David's in the building. Says big up, Philip. I agree. It's only pre-season. Bob Squash as well. V2. How was Højbjerg? Couldn't watch today. I'll be honest, he was actually pretty poor, but it's his first game. So you know, we'll see how we'll monitor that as the season goes on. Into the early stages of the season. David says Nuno has had 4 pre-season games with about 5 key players for the next season, and people are already complaining. No, look, you know, you're never going to keep everyone happy, man. That's just the situation. You know? Tom R says, good evening, everyone. I'll take a 2-2 against Chelsea and smash the Gooners on Sunday. Come on, you Spurs. Tom, exactly along my lines of thinking, my man. Appreciate that. Big yourself up. Jerry McNeil, my man, where are you Monday? I wanted you to come on the fan show, lad. I missed you. I wanted you to come on, but he says, are the heads on this graphic to scale? I'll be honest with you. I'm actually like technology retarded, so I haven't a clue what you're saying. You may as well put a comment in Chinese, lad. You know, I just know the basics. Even getting used to this computer is a bit odd. It's a bit foreign to me, lad, to be honest with you. You know, Tot943 says he's just laughing his ass off. Vid says Ollie Skip is good. Yes, he is, my man. Yes, he is. He works hard, doesn't he? Adam, I meant to say this is in the last stream, but Dave's new setup is looking class as F. We're not enough time in yet, man. Looking forward to the new content. Nah, look, me and Jack had a little preview of it today. I'm not going to lie. We bought it the same grin and the same giggle. We know it's going to be class. Zoe DF says Lloris injured, isn't he? I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I heard that as well, mate.
Oh,
yeah, something in the Euros. He picked up something in the Euros, mate. So, but again, you can't be sure.
Hopefully it wasn't a bottle of wine, Bob, you know, but he's previous.
Yeah.
Dan N says, great debut from Galini and good to see Stevie building confidence and taking on his man. Yeah, 100%. We'll be touching on Stevie B, don't worry. Yeah, AV Troops is in. He says, on a positive note, Nuno hasn't lost any matches yet. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing myself. I'm seeing you saying he agrees. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see if there's any other fresh faces. Yeah, there's loads down the bottom here. We have Viatal Davies was good when he came on. Yeah. Look, anyone could be good for 10 minutes, lad. MRFR says Villa are doing bits in the transfer window. Yeah, because they've sold Jack Grealish, so hopefully it means Harry Kane staying. Daniel B. the goat. The real question is, does Vinny like Curry? I don't know what that's about. Watching Winks play is torture. Yeah, I have a little piece I want to talk about on Winks for Chelsea's second goal. Guys, Ings gone to Villa. Yeah, 92 flamethrowers. Anyone seen Delhi? He's been missing for 3 years. Poor today, but he had a good game the last game, to be fair. Garrett AJ, I mean, we're still undefeated under Nuno. You tell him, my man. Hugo's in the building. Goatlini, already a favourite. Love the name, lad. Love the name. You bet me to the nickname. Alejandro Perez, big up, lads. Let's smash the Gooners at the weekend. That's the one I want. Let's walk away with Aubameyang's ponytail, huh? What's left, Red?
Stay undefeated, lads.
Jeffrey, he says Delhi is slow. Yeah, he is. We do have Luke J in the building. David Woodford, big yourself up. Catman Jess, new channel member. Absolutely love it. Appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you on a Monday, my man. And then we have Tottenham Tantrum, aka Dermot Miles. He says, big up, guys. Big up, Bob Spur TV. You all are legends. This is only pre-season, but it felt like a win in that second half. We just have to trust in Nuno. Yeah, look, they did make a lot of changes, but it is what it is. That's on them. I couldn't give a shit if they put their under-9s out against our senior team. I still want to beat them and beat them well. You know, the fact that we came back from 2 goals down, it shows character, man. Shows character. So, you know, I really look, guys, what do you make on Dermot's commentary?
No, absolutely, Dermot. You know, to be honest, I'm absolutely delighted to see us equalize. You know, in a way, you know, I kind of felt like there was a bit of a comeback, you know, coming on, you know, once we got that first goal in, you know, a bit of luck maybe from Lucas. But, you know, it's also really nice to maybe be possibly proven wrong, you know, with verifying. But yeah, honestly, I could care less, or I couldn't care less. Sorry. And it'd be I'd love to see a Chelsea team, you know, just, you know, think that they're on top of us, you know, with 2-0 and then just absolutely come out, you know, the worst team and absolutely come out the losers in it. You know, I couldn't be happier, David.
Yeah, 100%. And Bob, what's your opinions, man?
Yeah, exactly, mate. I echo both of you. What you said. We have to be careful, but at the same time, we can't allow ourselves to get excited. We played a very good Chelsea team. Yeah, they made changes, and towards the end, so did we as well. You know, they didn't score against us. I thought we were absolutely fantastic second half. And if you look at it, the fact is we did win the second half. We won the second half 2-1.
Yep, exactly. And thank you so much, Dermot. Really do appreciate the support. Everyone else, you know, feel free to keep supporting. We are going to crack on now with questions. Let's welcome a few more in. There's just a couple more in. Caelan Mallon. We have JTHFC. Who else have we got here? We've got Troy Aquiles, number 10. We have Matthew Baker, Alexander Hilton. We have Keju King. Love the name. Unlimited Digital Lifestyle. This guy, this person says, my guys. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. We have Tor in there, Tony Hall, and channel member Brad Matthews as well. And channel member
Big up, Brad.
Big up, Tony.
Legends, you know. But look, let's get straight into the questions. Guys, there is 240 people watching right now. So, you know, it is hard to get everybody's comment up on screen. We will, or discuss everybody's comment. We will get everybody's comment up on screen. Like promised, we know there's people out there that are not in a position to be able to super chat and stuff like that. Look, I know it can become incredibly frustrating, but look, if you want us to kind of take time to discuss the comment and stuff like that, get your super chats in, Amzo's in the building as well, says big up the Irish Hotspur. Danny Kiriakou, Will Stewart as well, Eddie Ryan, Finley, Peter P, D-Trex King. Right, Jack. Let's take it away. Let's go with the questions.
As you guys know, since recently with these friendlies, we have a bit of a chat, just to relax into it with the friendlies. And I'm going to start here with Bob first, if that's all right, Bob. We're maybe talking about this, in the beginning. How much should we really read into this? How much should we really take away from this? What do you want to take away from this, Bob?
I think the comebacks is great. We're Spurs fans, end of the day. We want to see ourselves. We want to see us win every single game. And the way we played in the second half, when there wasn't any substitutions, it was the goal was always on the cards, and we did score the first goal when there weren't that many changes. So I thought a lot of positives of the first half. Second half. First half was a bit dire, literally dire. He went to the floor more often than Ledley King did in his entire career in that first 10 minutes. He was constantly put on his arse. He was twisted. So, and that's, I know we'll go into it a bit more later, mate, but Romero playing alongside Dyer should be made illegal. We do need to get another one in ASAP. But absolutely fantastic second half. We showed intent. Nuno's interview after the game, I don't know if you guys saw it, post-match.
Haven't seen it yet.
Was pretty, it's probably the most, he didn't say much, but it probably the most revealing he's had. So he said he was happy with the positives, but there were a lot of negatives, and you could see there was something that's really got to him. There were a few negatives, but one thing he did say, he goes, towards the end, we should have gone out wide a bit more. So maybe that probably says that he is looking to play a bit more, a few more wingers, or certainly a bit more players out wide than what we've been used to, and making it a bit more wide. So he did make a point of mentioning that. So we should have kept the ball and played it out wide rather than going to the middle so quick. So I think that maybe is the first indication of what Nuno's vision is. But I think the press, the attacking intent second half, is reflection of how Nuno, I think, wants to move forward, which was good to see. It was good to see.
Yeah, no, Bob, I'm glad you also informed me on what Nuno said. I'm actually looking forward to, and thanks for informing the Harris Army and as well as me on that. David, how much do you really look into a game like this? How much should we take away from a game like this? What are your thoughts after this? Are we a bit overreacting after some of this? What should, we take from this game? How do you want to go about it?
Look, first half, it was poor. There's no hiding from it, right? The first half was poor. As much of what we've seen last season. New manager, same football. That's what it seemed like. But look, the fact is, we came from 2 goals down. We ended up rescuing a draw. It builds confidence. It beats belief. It builds the belief that we can come back no matter if we're 2 goals down, which is good. It builds momentum going into the season. We're still unbeaten in pre-season. We have Arsenal to come on Sunday. But back to today's game. Look, like I said, first half was poor, very, very poor, in fact. Look, their first goal, Lucas cutting inside. He's done it many times this pre-season. But when you're against the bigger teams, you have to protect that ball. If you're going to do it, you have to protect the ball. But what I was surprised about is, where was Højbjerg's skipper Dele Alli there? How did he have that big of a hole to run at the defence, right? The defence was exposed. But if you're Dyer and Tanganga, right, you have to speak to each other. One has to engage and the other one drop. The reason why one engages and one drops, because the one engages so that shot like that doesn't happen, right? And if he does skin him, the guy behind him mops up and takes the ball away. So that's why one engages and one drops. And that's why I can't wait for Romero to come in, to be honest with you, because that's not going to happen. The guy has the most pressures in Serie A, I think. You know what I mean? He's absolutely insane. So he will put pressure on them. So that sort of, this is what we were talking about, though, Jack, last night. I sat down and watched that with Matty Hayes.
Yeah.
It's like, we're 2 nice teams can just get the ball run at us and crack a shot on goal. And the fact that Romero's coming in, it's going to stop it. So that's brilliant. And then, look, the rest of the first half, we were just god-awful. At one stage, Doherty got the ball, just a 10-yard pass inside. It's a give and go. He couldn't even pass it straight, lads. He couldn't pass it straight.
He tried to dive in the box, too, David.
And what really what really frustrated me in the first half, guys, was us just giving the ball away. See, the thing is, right? I get what we were trying to do. We were trying to get that early ball into Son, unleash him, get him in behind. Brilliant, right? I don't mind trying that. But every single pass was overhit. Didn't give him a chance to get onto the end of any single one of them, right? So then when that's not working, you have to be able to get the ball. You have to be able to keep the ball. Keep sustained period of pressures or possession, which means then you can put pressure on Chelsea that way. But look, there was no running. There was no movement from Bergwijn. No movement from Ali breaking from midfield. So we had no options, and that's why we kept on losing the ball.
Yeah, David.
Look, you go into the second half. Said it time and time again about this guy, and I'm not making a mistake. Believe me, I'm not, right? But Harry Winks, right? Okay. The ball should not come down the right? Came in from Doherty's side, way too easy, unchallenged. Shouldn't happen, right? But when it does, right, and Winks is already behind Alonso, he's already lost the run, right? Then Alonso puts in a slight challenge to hook the ball backwards. You're thinking, Skip, right, just absolutely plow into that like a train, stop that ball being cut back. What does he do? He must have been watching the Olympics today because he done the hurdles, right? 100-meter sprint hurdle, jumped over the challenge. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, please, no. The guy's only after coming on. You can't do that in your box. And it goes back to what we're saying. The guy just doesn't like physicality. He doesn't like it whatsoever, right? And that's just piss poor. Then look, with Stevie B, I have to say this. He's a player I've had my thoughts on. Everyone knows that. And credit where credit's due. He had a stinker up until his equaliser. Yeah. Right? He had an absolute stinker. But he's done what we've been asking him to do. Knock the ball by your man. Use your pace.
Yep.
And then product. And he finished it. He took it on his left foot, his weaker foot, and buried it between the keeper's legs. Absolutely delighted with it. What more? And hopefully now that goal can unleash a bit of confidence in him going into the new season, because we need all hands to the pump. We really do. Look, we probably won't have Kane for the City game. So look, you're probably looking at Son up front. You need Bergwijn out left. So hopefully this has given him the confidence.
Yep.
And then our first goal, look, Dele Alli got lucky. He tried to pass it inside, double ricochet, falls to Lucas. Lucas strikes it, deflection over the keeper. But one thing I will say is I couldn't care how they go in as long as they go in. And it went in, and I was delighted to see Mendy standing there filming. It made me smile, I might even watch it a bit later on, past 12 a.m. if you get my drift. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful sight. It was a beautiful sight to see him. And look, we got the draw, and that's all that matters. We didn't lose again.
Sorry, I was saying we had numbers in the box as well, didn't we, Dave? We had numbers in the box as well. When Lucas took that shot, I think there was about 3 or 4 players in the box, which was good. I mean, obviously, we were 2-0 down, so we had to be a bit aggressive. But there's been many games last season, even at the beginning of the friendlies, where we never showed that intent. And the fact we're playing away in Chelsea's own ground, it just showed the press, it just showed the intent. And I thought, like you say, mate, I couldn't give a shit if it came off somebody's nose or whatever. Yeah. The fact he was there to score. Because 9 times out of 10 previously, Dele would have lost that ball and there would have been anyone there to pick it up. So the fact he had Son one side, Lucas and Bergwijn himself as well, and Dele there, just shows that we showed a bit of intent in that second half, certainly. So, and Bergwijn, my feelings towards him. But like you say, mate, he was absolutely shit up until we scored that equaliser, and I was there thinking, mate, Davey's going to give it to me tonight. But there's a bit of hope. We all hope that goal just takes him to the next level, gives him a bit of confidence. I hoped he stayed on for the full 9 minutes, but I could understand why he took him off. That's probably an indication that he'll start against Arsenal. But good job from Bergwijn, and let's hope it brings out a bit more in him.
Yeah, and Jack, I will let you get to the super chats. I just want to address one thing. I think this is important. Look, I just want to say this now, right? I know I criticize the players, right? But one thing I want to say is I criticize them on what I see, right? I criticize them on what I see. And the thing is, when I do criticize them, right, it's not that I hate them. I genuinely think it's important to stress. It's that I would actually rather them make me red-faced the next day. I really would. I'd rather them go out and do something that makes me red-faced, And I just want to stress that, like, you know, like when we do criticize players, we all hope they prove us wrong.
Exactly.
We can only comment on what we see, but at the end of the day, we hope they leave us red-faced.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. David, actually. Well said in the end. Yeah, well said there. And then Brad Matthews here. Thank you so much, Brad. And also, Brad, I do hope you enjoyed the comeback in the second half, Brad.
Well, he loved it. Says, he's sitting there making a song about it.
Yeah, he's making a song about making a tune about it on the guitar, maybe on the piano this time. He says, thought we were too slow and not aggressive enough in the first half. So much better in the second half. Loads to be done, but Nuno appears to know that. Yeah, I really hope that Nuno knows that. Maybe that's what Bob was kind of maybe alluding to at the beginning, you know, with his post-match, you know, saying that he was, you know, a bit concerned, even maybe a bit frustrated, and even kind of, you know, had something in the back of his head, kind of like Bob was saying that he wanted to say, but knew, you know, wasn't worth maybe saying to the cameras, you know, saying to the media. So yeah, he probably had plenty of things that he's concerned about, plenty of things he's going to have to work on. But as well, though, he probably is going to be holding his head a bit high, you know, knowing that the boys did turn it around at halftime and that they did actually stand up for themselves. And this might have been said before, but you know, I think it's said by Brad, is that, you know, in the first half, you know, you can even hear the Chelsea fans, you know, kind of, you know, mocking us with the possession they were having. And then us being able to, you know, actually press them, you know, with Sonny, Lucas, and Bergwijn, win the ball back, you know, high up the pitch, and then kind of punch them in the mouth a bit. It kind of felt like with those goals, despite, you know, one of them being very lucky, it still felt like we were kind of punching them in the mouth, you know, kind of in a sense where we kind of, you know, were, you know, not letting them be cocky, not letting them be, you know, arrogant. And, you know, I couldn't be happier. So big yourself up, Brad. Anything to say to Brad there, David?
Yeah, just quickly to Brad. Look, I didn't actually see Nuno's interview, but I was on with our Tottenham TV doing a quick piece for them before I came on here. And that's why I was actually 5 minutes late. So I do apologize. But, you know, Grandpa, he gave us the whole rundown on what Nuno said. And it was more so like, you know, he knows, like Bob was saying, he knows what went wrong. He knows what he needs to work on. And I'll be honest, Brad, it was refreshing to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, a manager saying, look, I know what's gone wrong. I'm not going to leak it to the media to expose ourselves for teams to pick up on it. But I know how to fix it. So I like that. That shows progression. It shows, like, you know, that he's not naive. There's no, as much as I do believe some of the players should take the slack a lot of the times, but there's no throwing anyone under the bus. It's like, look, I know what went wrong. I'm going to fix it. So we'll see how it goes. But Brad, you know, I really do appreciate the support, man. I'm an absolute legend. And, you know, I look forward to send me on that song when you have it, man.
Absolutely, Brad. Big yourself up, Brad, and cheers, Brad. And then everybody else, again, there are 341 people watching, so please hit a like. Please hit that subscribe if you're new to the Harris Army, if you're new to the Flat Cap Army as well. Please hit that subscribe, because you will have plenty of content here for all the post-match, for all the games, you know, coming up, for all the previews as well, you know, any analysis coming into the future games. You definitely want to stay here. So please join the Harris Army.
We're going to blow your mind. That's a guarantee. We're going to blow your mind.
And Joe here with a very generous super chat. Joe here saying, this squad is mid-table, especially that defense. Please, let's get this Romero. Please, let's get Romero, another center back and right back in ASAP. Absolutely, Joe. And I really do think it's still imperative, despite the statement signing of Romero, it's still imperative. The job is not done. We do need another center back still, especially, you know, with maybe some of the rumors maybe surrounding Tanganga, you know, with maybe some of the rumors surrounding other center backs. They know supposedly we're trying to still ship out some of the deadwood we need to ship out. Let's absolutely get another center back. And honestly, seeing Doherty and Aurier play today, the right back couldn't even be more, you know, like, honestly, it couldn't come sooner. So Tomiyasu, wherever you are, even if you exist, Tomiyasu, please come to this club. We need you ASAP. And honestly, Joe, big yourself up. I really hope we can fix this defense. David, anything to say to Joe here?
No, look, I just want to say thank you for the support, my man. I really do appreciate it. But because I spoke on Brad one, I think it's just fair to let Bob in. Just quickly, I see Brian Ireland's in the chat as well. Brian Ireland, put the link to your new channel in the comment section, man.
Yeah, big up, Brian.
Yeah, get it in the comment section.
Big up. Bob, anything on Joe's comment here? Like, could the sooner not be, could the defense not be fixed sooner enough?
Yeah, the sooner he's holding up the shirt, the better, mate, with regards to Romero. And yeah, Dave's right. You know, what he'll do is he'll communicate with the other defender alongside him. What worries me, Dave, is I don't think our defenders have got it in them to take advice. We've never had that. Toby probably did, but not as much. Whereas obviously Romero's got that quality, and got that leadership qualities. But I don't know if the likes of Dyer and Sanchez would be able to take on such intelligent, demands and instructions from a class player. I know. I said previously I had my reservations about Connor Cody, and there's been big links with him recently. The more I think about it, mate, for a loudmouth like that, alongside a loudmouth with Romero, there could be clash of personalities, but one thing you'll get is 100% from both players. And the more I think about it, Connor Cody and Romero, mate, that'll be a fucking wall to try and get through, wouldn't it? So, but I just don't think. I don't know how much it'll take out of Romero to put him alongside a Dyer or a Sanchez, but
definitely
it's a wait and see, isn't it? We do need another centre back.
I'm Connor Cody. I was kind of along the same lines as you, Bob. But again, the more I think about it, right, is Dyer's just one of them players you can't get through to him. You tell him, look, we need to do this. He's just go out on his own. He'll do what he wants to do anyway, right? So if you have someone like Connor Cody, look, it'd be a perfect partnership if you think about it, right? So you have Connor Cody putting him off with his mouth, right? You know what I mean? Just shithousery. Then you have Romero being an absolute horrible fucker to play against. So it probably wouldn't be a bad, let's be honest, a bad partnership. And looking at today's, I just want centre-back saying, I want a centre-back in, I want a right-back. I'm not even going to be greedy. I don't want a midfielder, don't want a winger. Just get me defenders, please. Please. It's not too much for ask for. But Joe, my man, really appreciate the support, lad. What an absolute legend, and I hope you enjoyed our conversation on the Super Chat, my man.
Absolutely, and big yourself up, Joe. Really do appreciate it. And then as well, Dermot Moyles, and really everybody, big yourself up. And everybody, if you're new again, there are 368 people in the building. Please, please, please hit that like button. Wow. Please, please, please put your comments in. We're going to try to get to them, when we can, and we'd love to put them on screen, but it is a bit tough, with everybody piling in at the moment in the beginning of the show, but we will get to them as soon as we can. But Dan N here with very generous super chat. And Dan N, love your comments always in any of the chat. Always a true legend. He says, thoughts on Spurs accepting Japhet's loan offer to Turkey, to Galatasaray. First team minutes in a physical league could be good for him, but I'm worried about the injury. Yeah, to be honest, I really hope I think Bob was telling me earlier, and I know Bob maybe might want to touch on this, Japhet can maybe say no. Tanganga could still say no, maybe going to Turkey, but you could be right. It could be plenty of first team minutes. It could be a very physical league. He could maybe learn a bit of the dark side, of the game. He could learn, plenty of the dark arts over there in Turkey as well. Who doesn't love a good, a good day, a good derby over there in Turkey as well. Some of those games are absolutely insane.
If you lose a derby, Jack, you can't get out. You're not allowed out of the ground. They keep you locked in. The fans go crazy.
Yeah, you got to probably stay overnight there, David.
Yeah, you do.
Sleep in the dressing room. Yeah, and so honestly, it could be a good experience for him. If he likes football, David, if he likes football atmospheres, that's what he probably will enjoy. So honestly, hopefully Japhet, though, just picks what's best for him. Personally, what I think what's best for him is in this squad, because I do rate him still very highly. But Bob, what do you think? What do you think? What do you make of this, maybe rumor?
I don't want him to leave if we don't get another centre-back in alongside Romero. I think Japhet Tanganga could learn so much off of Romero. He's not that much older than him, but he certainly brings that experience. If we don't bring another centre-back or two in, I'd be absolutely surprised and gutted that we're losing Tanganga over the likes of Sanchez and Dyer. I'd be absolutely gutted. So I think it'd be great. I absolutely think him going out to Galatasaray, he'll become a man. He'll see the shithousery left, right, and centre every single game. I think it'll be an absolutely fantastic loan. But mate, if we don't bring another centre back alongside Romero, I don't want to see him go.
I mean, maybe Bob, you actually said that really perfectly. We would really hate to see him go. We honestly, think he's one of our best center backs, so we shouldn't see him go. But he would still learn plenty, in Turkey. Absolutely. It wouldn't be a bad loan spell for him. So honestly, Dan, and maybe despite him going and despite how upset I would be if he were to go, it would still be a good loan spell for him. Maybe a bit like what Skippy had with Norwich. Yeah. So maybe that's how we should think about it. But big yourself, Dan, and really appreciate the support. Yeah. And Silver Surfer here. Yeah, sorry, David. Yeah,
just on Tanganga, I just want to give Jack a bit of credit here, because he was actually going to put that in as a question today. And I was like, oh, look, don't. We have enough, and I don't think, the Tanganga thing will happen. But apparently they have put in a bid. It has actually been accepted. Yeah. But I don't think Tanganga wants to go. But to me, it doesn't make sense, because either they have other players lined up ready to come in, And the reason why I say that is because surely they're not going to leave themselves exposed where they let Tanganga go out alone. Sanchez is on his way to Sevilla, I reckon, because there's been a lot of links and he didn't play today. Tanganga played ahead of him. So that makes me think, is he on his way to Sevilla to do a medical or whatever else, right? So if they are going to let these two guys go, then they have to have the centre-backs lined up to come in, surely.
Toby's gone as well, yeah.
Who? Yeah,
Toby's gone as well.
Toby's gone as well. Toby's gone as well. But, like he's been placed with Romero, but, like, if we do let Sanchez go and we let Tanganga go,
exactly.
For me, we need to get two more in. You know, because you need Tanganga as that cover. But one thing I will say is, with Tanganga, it's sort of like the Skip situation last season. Do you loan him out, do you not? And if we do loan him out, hopefully it turns into like the Skip situation where he comes back, he's fully ready for first-team football. You know what I mean? And he makes a man of himself. Because I've actually listened to a couple of ex-Premier League players who went out to Turkey and listened to them talk about that. And when they've lost derby games, they're not allowed to leave the ground. They don't, because the fans just want to kill them. They go nuts out there. So we'll make a bit of a man out of him over there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So would be beneficial for him to go. But big up, Dan, and I really do appreciate the super chat, man, and the support.
Really appreciate it, Dan. And then Silver Surfer here, he says, I want the Deadwood and Charlie's brother out. Yeah, honestly, you know, Charlie's brother, you know, I really wish he wasn't riding off the coattails of his brother here. I understand, you know, David and I definitely understand, you know, definitely if you were to make it as big as Kane, you want to help out your family, you know, you want to provide for them, you want to make it also an easy life for them, but you certainly shouldn't make them your agent. I think that's before, you know, you should just give them, you know, the little brother allowance, you know, the big brother allowance, you know, and just let them do what they want with it from there. And to be honest, I do need the Deadwood out as well. Like we said, again, the defense could not be fixed, you know, any sooner. We really need the Romero, you know, shirt pictures, you know, coming in. We need the Tomiyasu shirt pictures coming in. We need it all coming in. Maybe a Milenkovic shirt picture would be nice as well, but we need another center back too. So honestly, Silver Surfer, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And I couldn't agree more. But yeah, we have to move on to maybe another question about the game here, guys, though. So to be honest, I did see a lot of the pressing, though, especially in the second half. I think we were trying to go for it in the first half. But David, what did you make that pressing, you know, from the team maybe in the first half, from maybe the front three especially? We were really, really, really pressing. And with the front three with Sonny, Bergwijn, Lucas, maybe those are all just very hardworking players, you know, when you think about it. But it seemed intentional that a lot of the pressing, you know, was coming from them when we were trying to win the ball high up the pitch. This seemed a bit new for Spurs. What do you make of it?
No, look, I'm absolutely enjoying the pressing, to be honest with you. It's a big step up from last season. Look, I get what went on last season. Like, look, if your back four is your weakest link, you do everything you can to protect it, right? But Nuno's here. It's a new way of playing, new style of playing. We've got Romero in. We are going to improve the defense so we can, look, Nuno wouldn't be working on a pressing game pre-season if he didn't know that there was players coming in my opinion. So the fact that he's working on the pressing game and then he's bringing in players like Romero from an Atlanta who are an incredible team at pressing, right? So he already has that in him. So when he comes in, he's going to slot into that. So, you know, Skip's come back. He's going to slot into that pressing mode, which he already has. So it's absolutely brilliant, which means, again, we're not going to be a nice team to play against because when you have players that have that dog mentality and constant work rate like Lucas, Bergwijn, and Son up front who will just pressure all game long, it all makes for us to be horrible to play against. And for me, I'm absolutely delighted to see the press. And I have to say, it's refreshing to see us try and win the ball higher up the field. Because, look, we got joy out of that. Believe it or not, we were actually doing that before things turned sour at that West Ham 3-3 last season. Right? We were actually pressing before that because there was a number of goals I remember where even Højbjerg made tackles higher up the pitch. We turned the ball over and scored. And when you turn the ball higher up the pitch, when you turn the ball over higher up the pitch, right, it means you don't have as much players to play through. It means teams can't get back into their shape, which means you have space to play into, which means you have space to run into, which means you can create more chances like that. So I like the pressing, I have to say. I think it's going to work well at Spurs. Look, we have to do something different from last season, and it's a lot different from last season. So look, hopefully we can continue going into the season. I've no doubt we will. We have one of the most renowned fitness coaches in the world brought in under Nuno. So, look, they're going to be fit. I'm pretty sure they'll last the season as well. They've been doing it all pre-season. Look, all of us sat here on Kaniki answered me before after the first couple of pre-season games and said it's something we noticed. So hopefully it can continue on.
Yeah, absolutely. And completely agree. Bob, before I get to the super chat here, what do you think, maybe of the pressing that we've seen from our front three?
Yeah, we asked for some form of identity or some form of play that Nuno could give us before the start of the season. I think it's evident, the pressing game is going to be his game. So, and we've got younger legs as well, haven't we, guys? We've got younger legs in midfield in Skip. Højbjerg's not old. Bergwijn's young. Yeah, obviously Lucas and Sonny are still there, but they are younger, as in more mobile. Certainly, even against in comparison to the likes of Bale and Harry Kane, we're going to get a lot more press out the likes of Sonny Kane, Sonny Bergwijn and Lucas. So we've got the right personnel now. We hope we can bring some more. We've got another youngster who's just coming in Hill. Hopefully he can show a bit of pressing quality as well. But the fact we've got younger legs. Yeah. Hopefully with the younger players we've got, the attacking press will come naturally rather than something that's a bit alien. I just want to say as well, and I know David, you mentioned it as well. Big up to the organisers. We mind what a fantastic cause, so prominent at this time of our lives with everything going on. Big up and what an occasion and what a game to actually celebrate the first game and I hope it's just a good game against Arsenal, obviously with us getting the win. So big up, mine. Big up. That's absolutely fantastic. Great cause. Absolutely great cause.
Yeah. Big up, Bob. Big up, Bob. Absolutely well said. And then Dermot Moyles here, Tottenham Tantrum. Please, 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 everybody check him out on Twitter. He's absolutely trying to become, that filtered Tottenham news source for everybody. So you don't have to look anywhere else for your Tottenham news. He's going to be able to filter it all down from Fabrizio Romano to all the Spurs other news. He's going to keep it nice and tidy for you. So Tottenham Tantrum on Twitter. He says, who's going to buy the likes of Dyer, Winks, and the rest of the Deadwood? Because we could loan them out just to get them out of the club. Yeah, this is what I would hope, to be honest, as well. Like if, no one wants to even buy them because of the COVID market, Bob, or because of the pandemic market, let's hope if we can get some of these guys out on loan, but hopefully we can actually sell them first. That would be the priority, to be able to sell them. But that's what, it might not be possible, Bob. So I guess second option would be to just get some kind of loan, to maybe some sort of club where maybe they might, be a loan to buy would be nice, where maybe they might be, so tempted, maybe with a decent season from one of them, at whatever club they're loaned out to, that they might be bought, but that might be a long shot. But yeah, I would say transfer first, loan second, maybe, terminate the contract also first, I would say as well. But, that's not very possible. But yeah, maybe if worse comes to worse, maybe we're going to have to loan them out. But everybody, Tottenham Tantrum, Dermot Moyles, please check him out. Please check him out. And Dermot, thank you very much.
Just something on that. Look, I don't buy into this whole thing that no clubs want them. There's clubs out there that want them. It's how much we're asking for them. Look, there was an offering for Bergwijn. We didn't accept it. Right? There was an offering for Harry Winks. We probably wanted too much from everything. Sanchez looks like he's going to get a move. The players that you'd say you won't get money for, maybe a Ben Davies, an Eric Dyer, right? Beyond sellable. But the likes of Winks and stuff like that, a lot of these deadwoods, you will get money for them. You will sell them. You will ship them on. It's just how much we want for them is the problem. Yep. And I need to give Rob Coyne a shout out. Yeah, he wants his shout out. No, Mayo, don't have to win Sam Maguire to get the shout out.
Yeah. But everybody, Dermot Moyles, big yourself up.
Legend,
Dermot. Really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. And everyone else, there are 393 people in the building at the moment. We are going to start moving on to the regular questions after this last question about the game. We will start moving into the regular Can Nicky Answer Me questions, where we will start putting out the questions on the board. We'll try to get to your comments on screen as best we can, but there are plenty of people joining us tonight, so we will try to do as best we can. But if you are new, please, please, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, and join the Harris Army. But last question about the game, guys, quickly. What do you guys make of maybe Galini here? Galini, I kind of thought he actually made some decent saves. Some people are already kind of saying, a bit of a Goatlini. I saw in the comments, right, David, earlier. He seemed to make some decent saves. I would just say, in terms of a backup keeper, we can at least probably already tell he's a huge improvement on what Joe Hart was as a backup keeper last season. He actually even at one point maybe even kept us in the game with a couple of those saves. Bob, what do you make of Galini?
Yeah, I think what really stood out, Jack, was the fact he was so comfortable with his feet. You know, with Lloris, you are a bit, you do get a bit stressed when Lloris has got it in the feet, but he looked comfortable. And the 2 goals he conceded, he couldn't do anything about. And he did make a couple of really good saves, especially the one that came right after the Bergwijn goal, actually, when Bergwijn went in the same position, scored from the position, whereas Chelsea had a chance. Can't remember who it was, but they had a chance and he kept his legs together and saved it, pushed it behind. That's one criticism that we always had with Lloris. When he makes a save, it always tends to go into a dangerous area, whereas any palming away, any saves went into a safe area, so there wasn't any chance of a Chelsea player latching on. So impressed. Obviously, first game, he needs to do a bit more to take Lloris out, but absolutely great. Good. But you know, if you stood back and looked at it, you'd say probably Alfie Whiteman's been the better goalkeeper because he's had more games and he's had more to do. But for a first game, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Great goalkeeper analysis there, Bob, especially, you know, considering, you know, that's a bit harder one to, you know, analyze, and that's not, you know, our speciality probably, or really many people's speciality. So good analysis there. Matt Hayes' speciality. Got to check him out for that, for the goalkeeper analysis. But David, Gaguma here. Gaguma, really do appreciate the support with the super sticker. Gaguma, really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. And as well, Gaguma, I do hope that you're going to be enjoying the Kaniki Answer Me tonight. I know she does, David. But David, with Galini, what do you make? You know, some of the saves, were they, you know, a bit, you know, kind of keeping us in the game kind of saves? Were they just kind of regular, you know, maybe saves that we should expect from a keeper? You know, what did you maybe make of his display? Bob was saying he was a bit comfortable with his feet, so his reputation maybe, you know, was saying. And what do you make of Galini?
Look, with Galini, I'll be honest with you. Look, a lot of people think he's coming in to play second fiddle. He ain't. Hugo Lloris has 1 year left on his contract. We don't know what's going to happen after that. No Galini. He's going to come in. He's competing for the number 1 jersey. He hasn't come here to play second fiddle. He's come here to compete with the number 1 jersey, right? And for me, look, I was happy with him today. Do you know what impressed me the most is, right? Do you know when Bergwijn scored and put it through the keeper's legs, right? Straight after that, they had a chance up our end. I don't know what Chelsea player took the shot, but you know, Galini made the save where it could have very easily went in through his legs. You know what I mean? But he didn't. He got down. He made the save, and there was a couple of other. There was one strike from distance that he held on to. I was quite impressed with. Like Bob was saying as well, like some of them saves that from in and around the box over the years, we've seen Hugo Lloris push them straight back into danger, straight for tap-ins. Liverpool comes to mind last season. He done it twice in a row. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And look, Galini doesn't look like he has that in him. You know, Galini looks like he's aware of what's around him, that he will try and push it out if he has to. And I think he'll command his area nicely. There was one when Timo Werner was offside.
Yeah.
Look, he wasn't offside. It was a goal.
He wasn't.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I did like is how quick Galini came out to the edge of the box to try and get to him. You know what I mean? I like that because a lot of the times you do see Hugo Lloris kind of standing on his line. You know what I mean? So the fact that Galini tried to get out quick is good. And one thing I loved as well is when he got the ball to his feet, lads, he looked very, very comfortable. He wasn't shaky. He wasn't nervous. There was no bad touches. He was confident. Get it, good first touch, get it out of the foot and keep the ball moving. And I'm impressed with that. And look, I think this guy, I think he'll do well at Tottenham. I really do. It puts me a bit... Look, obviously we have to take it over the course of the season, but it puts me a bit at ease over the Hugo Lloris situation right now.
Yeah, I think
he'd rather concede a corner. He'd rather concede a corner, Jack. You know, if a ball's coming in and he needs to knock out wide, he'd rather knock out for a corner than keep it in play, which we've seen Hugo do over and over and over again. So he's not scared of pushing it behind him. Look good.
Yeah. Great analysis from both of you on the goalkeepers there.
I'm not a specialist, believe it or not.
And Jerome Cloridor, hopefully I got that right, but absolutely class name, I will say. Jerome Cloridor.
I love the way you say that.
Yeah. And he says, I watched the highlights for the game, and seriously, Harry Winks' finish. Can't even bother to try to get the ball back. and jump for a tackle from Alonso for the second goal. He has to go. To be honest, that's what's funny, Jerome. I will say, we've been well on, the Harry Winks, train, being absolute a stinker, and we've been wanting him out for a long time. He's probably the first dead one on my list that I would say I want. I might even say even before Moon Boots, I might even argue, I probably get him out first. But to be honest, I will say he came in, and I don't think he actually was as horrible as, as we might have thought or maybe anticipated. I don't think he was as bad as maybe we all could have thought it could have gone. I don't think he was as like a dramatic improvement on Højbjerg, but I don't think he did also that horrible either. People are going to probably roast me in the comments for it, David. I actually completely understand. I shouldn't be, defending somebody like Stinksy, but, I don't think he was as bad, maybe, coming in as he maybe could have been.
Look, Jack, we're here to give a fair assessment, and I'd agree with that. I'd agree. Look, he came on. He didn't have his worst game in the Tottenham shirt, but
right. He actually had worse games against Colchester. He had a worse game against Colchester, is what I was probably trying to say.
He had a stinker against Colchester, right? But Jerome, music to my ears. Thank God someone else has gone back and watched that and seen what I seen. Harry Winks jumping over Xabi Alonso, or not Xabi Alonso, but Alonso, when he went to make that slide tackle to cut the ball back for CH's second goal. Thank you. That is music to my ears, Jerome. We're singing off the same sheet, my man. Absolutely love it. And thank you so much for the support, man. And yeah, look, he's finished with Tottenham for me. I do. Although it wasn't his worst game, I just everyone knows. I just want him gone. I'm not even going to harp on. Just want him gone. Like Jack said, before Moon Boots, before Sanchez, before Aurier, before Sissoko, he's number one on my list. He has to go. Hopefully we get Here We Go for Fabrizio Romano over the next 4 weeks on it.
But Jerome, honestly, absolutely class super chat. But we have to remain objective. I have to remain objective, and I will say, Winks wasn't as bad as I thought he would be. And we obviously have a huge bias when it comes to Stinksy, but I will say he wasn't as bad as I thought he would be. And he came in and did his job. I wouldn't say he did a job, but I would say he did his job. I think he did his job when he came in. Bob.
Yeah, just a quick one. The fact that he's cost us a goal in the 20-odd minutes he was on, and we still think he's had a good game. Kind of says it all.
Big up, Bobby, bringing us back down to reality there. And then Stefan Blois here, but Jerome, absolutely class.
Legend.
Absolutely,
he knows
class.
his football, that guy.
Absolutely class. And Jerome, I hope I said it right when it came to this surname, but regardless, you have a class name regardless.
Even if Jack didn't, it sounds better the way Jack says it.
Stefan Blois here. He says, Villa making great signings. We need more quality. Yeah, Villa and Leicester have been kind of scaring the crap out of us, you might say, in terms of some of the signings they're making. They just seem to be, playing FIFA, in terms of the signings. It seems to be so easy for them. It's Football Manager for them, while the rest of us, it seems like, we're negotiating, world peace agreements. It seems to be that hard. But yeah, I will say everyone else, seems to, in the Premier League seems to also be be a bit slow like us when it comes to the signings. But I will say, teams like Villa and Leicester are just absolutely blazing through some of their signings. So, some seem to be pretty quick about it. Some to be pretty slow like us. It's a bit of a mix, so it's tough to say. But Stefan, really appreciate the support. And I'm totally with you. Some of these Villa signings are really scaring me.
And Stefan, we're coming. Don't worry.
Don't worry, Stefan and Nuno we trust as well. But guys, thank you for answering, some of the questions when it comes to the game. And, honestly, I will say I'm delighted to see us come back. It's good to see Bergwijn score. Who doesn't love to see us be proved wrong when it comes to him? But we're going to move into the Kaniki Answer Me here as I pull this up here. Just a moment, lads. But yeah, whoops, just a moment here. Sorry, lads. Get stuck in here. There it is. But everybody here, if you are new to Kaniki Answer Me, please, I would love to see your answers in the comments when it comes to these questions. If you're generous enough, please send it in a super chat as well. I'd be happy to answer them in a super chat. The panel would be happy to answer them in a super chat. But as well, if you're not, able, even if you don't feel like it as well, just put your answers to some of these in the comments. I'd be happy to read them, and we'll try our best to put them on screen and maybe discuss them as well. But lads, the first question here, is there a deeper reason behind Harry's public refusals to rejoin the squad? What do you think is forced Kane's hand here? Is Kane, guys, is he maybe, just pulling something here, maybe last minute? Is this something that's always been on his mind? This is kind of the basic way of kind of introducing ourselves into this whole Kane saga, however you want to go about it. Bob, if it's all right with you, if I can ask you, what do you maybe make of it? Is something maybe forcing Kane's hand here? Is there something that's maybe, maybe made him kind of think last minute that he's got to go now? Or do you think this has always been his plan?
No, 8 years has forced his hand. 8 years of not the owners not seeing the value of the best striker in the world and building a team around him. That's what's forced his hand. Now, it's a whole separate issue. You know my thoughts on what Harry Kane's doing with regards to his actions. That's a totally different opinion. And that is an opinion that's not going to be shared the same throughout the fan base. I understand that. But when you stand back, look at the bigger picture, it's down to Levy and Enoch that the reason Kane is in this position right now, i.e. wanted to leave the club. We are so lucky that we've had and hopefully will have the best striker in the world. I'll put him above the likes of an Mbappe and Haaland and a Lewandowski because he's doing it he's done it consistently in a good, average, poor Tottenham team. He's always had the numbers, and last season we were a poor side. Yet look at his numbers. So it's down to Lenik. There you go. That's a nickname. There you go. Lenik. There you go. It's down to
what was it like saying from last year? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Levy and Enoch is the reason why Kane's has gone to this extent, and I do not blame him. My thoughts on his actions is another matter. Me and Dave have got different views on that, but the reason why we're here is down to those dickheads that are in charge. Unfortunately, they should have taken advantage and built a team around one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, definitely, Bob. I'm kind of with you there. Maybe what I might just say, is, I do think, it has been a long time coming for him. I do probably think he's been mulling it over for quite some time, but maybe it's just something that, he's just maybe thinking, last minute, maybe even Levy said something to him, maybe even Charlie, whispered something to him that, he's just felt like he's had to pull the plug a bit sooner. But again, Jerome Cloridor, again, I hope I'm saying it, Jerome. Please let me know. And Jerome, absolutely class, for this contribution. Please, everybody, big up Jerome in the comments, not only for these class super chats and these class comments, but also for the class name as well, for the class surname. And he says, you got the last name spot on, boys. Not all doom and gloom. We drew at the bridge. We take that. Just need another decent center back with Romero, and we can be all right for the Prem. Love the positivity here. And come on, you Spurs. Big up, Jerome. I absolutely love it. And Jerome, you're way too generous. Thank you, Jerome. Really do appreciate it. And Jerome, honestly, you probably said exactly what I've been trying to say all night in shorter words. I couldn't be happier to see them, in Kensington, in Chelsea, just absolutely walking off, with thinking that they had the game in the bag, thinking that, that was going to be their night. And, it's all just been taken away from them just in a swift 1-2 punch, kind of goals. So couldn't be happier. That's just how we should be doing it. Maybe it's the Nuno factor. Maybe it's how Nuno plays his ball, a bit more of a kind of a doggy, kind of play style, but who doesn't love it, especially away from home, and kind of a friendly when they're going to be bigging themselves up, Chelsea. So we couldn't be happier. And Jerome, I hope you're as happy as me, and big yourself up as well, Jerome. Really do appreciate these comments. And also, again, really, really class super chats as well. David, anything to say to Jerome?
Yeah, look, I'm glad we got the last name spot on. Look, Jack takes all the names because sometimes I get them mixed up.
David's been good on it too recently, though.
He struggles with Bob.
Look, it's the Irish accent lets me away with it. They love how I pronounce it. It lets me away. I usually get them wrong. So, Jerome, I'm glad we got this one right, my man. And no, look, it's not all doom and gloom. I know it's not. We drew at the bridge. It's exactly what I couldn't care if it's Chelsea under nines. I want to spank them. I want to get a result. Look, we got a point at the bridge. What more do we need, lad? What more do we need, Jerome? You're coming from the same hymn sheet as me, lad. Same vibes. Absolutely love it. And I agree. Look, another decent centre back alongside Romero. I do think we probably will need a right back, though, Jerome. That's the only thing.
No.
I do think even if we get another centre back, teams will just hit us out wide. Like they did when Ben Davies was playing left back. They just go out wide and get the ball across. So I do think we need a right back, Jerome. But look, and thanks for loving the positivity here, my man. I really appreciate it. Look, we always try to be as positive as possible, try and find positives in everything we do. But look, I'll admit sometimes we're not always the most positive, but we always try to be, and I appreciate that, Jerome Cloridor. So I appreciate that, my man. What an absolute legend. And thank you for the support, my man. There's a few people in here asking, are you Jerome Boateng? So I think they want you to sign for Tottenham. Maybe you can pull out the old cleats, put them on. I'll wash them for you. I'll make sure they get the toothbrush out, make sure they're pristine, and we'll get you out there, Jerome. Big yourself up, my man.
Big yourself up, Jerome. And then Lazy 8 here, and then Nick here with the super chat. And Nick, I just got, recently the electric bill, me and the missus, and I do hope that the AC didn't hurt you as much as it did hurt us. It was not as steep as we thought it would be, but the AC certainly did hurt, the Brooklyn electricity bill. So hopefully it didn't hurt you too bad either. But Nick here, he's saying Charlie trying to make up for being a crap agent, and B, sacking Jose before a chance to win any silverware, and then C, Levyitis. Nick Lazy, I really do appreciate it. And then these are all of his answers, I think, David, to the original question for this Nicky answer me, and I do appreciate it. Lazy for putting in these in a super chat. You didn't need to. It's very kind of you, and honestly I do agree with you as well. That's what I probably am thinking. I think it's primarily Charlie being the shit agent, and then also possibly a bit of the Levyitis, I would say, is probably maybe gotten too much for Kane. I think he's had too much of the Levyitis. Maybe he needs to kind of detox himself from it, and just get out of here. But to be honest, I do hope he just realizes that he's Spurs through and through, and he should know that, Levyitis, it sticks with you forever. So you might as well just stick with us forever and just, bear with it like the rest of us. But yeah, big yourself up, Lazy. I really do appreciate it. Anything to say to Nick, David?
Yeah, just quickly, I want to say disappointed not to see you on the fan show on Monday, man. I was really hoping you'd come on, actually. I really enjoyed your appearance the week before, especially what you were saying. I really enjoyed it. And look, make sure you do get on the next one, or we'll definitely get you on a few shows over the course of the season anyway, Nick. So be ready, lad. Be ready.
Yeah, stay ready, Nick. Stay ready. We'll definitely as well, just stay on the sideline. We'll get you in for that 60th minute, Jack Grealish kind of substitution, to, change something up in the game. So stay ready, Lazy. Stay ready, Nick Lazy. And Tottenham Tantrum, yet again, with another very generous super chat. Thank you so much, Dermot. Really do appreciate it. Again, Dermot, you really don't need to, Dermot. We really do appreciate it. You already do too much for us. And as well, please check him out on Twitter. Please check him out on Twitter. I just love his name. I love that it's also just an easy filtered source for my news when it comes to the Tottenham news. And as well, Dermot here, he's saying Levy and Enoch have to take full responsibility for this. Too many false promises. He's been lied to, and too many false promises. He's been lied to. He's a world-class player. You can't blame him at all. He was badly advised when he signed his contract. Yeah, maybe he was badly advised when he signed his contract, but maybe I'll take these words from Matty Hayes, and say that, Harry Kane, he did sign it. It's not, you did sign it, you did accept the terms and conditions, and it's what you have to deal with. And as well, it's not our fault that he has a bad agent. It's Harry Kane's fault that he has a bad agent. He should be able to negotiate it better. He should be able to maybe put that gentleman's agreement in writing.
Sign a 3-year contract or a 4-year contract.
Yeah, it shouldn't go down the way it's been going down. This is all very avoidable. And to be honest, I think it's actually quite avoidable. And Harry Kane has a huge part to do with it. I really do hope that it doesn't hurt Harry Kane's legacy too much. But I do think that he has a lot to do with this, and he could have gone about this a lot better. But Dermot, I really do appreciate the super chat, and everybody, please check him out on Twitter. Tottenham Tantrum there. David, anything to say to Dermot?
Yeah, look, just quickly, Dermot, absolutely love the name. Look, you made life easy for Jack. You can just wake up, go to Tottenham Tantrum, and all the speculation, all the news is there. 100%. Big up, Dermot. Look, I get it. I've parried this myself. Look, I think a lot of our anger should be directed at Levy and Enoch. It should never have got to the point they should have players in at his level. But look, he has to take responsibility. You can't not show up for training. Look, if I'm putting myself in his position, I can understand it. I can understand what he's trying to do, but it's not on. Something that Bob said the other day kind of rung home true. The amount of times, especially me, I adore this guy. You know what I mean? All I want to see him do is play in a Spurs shirt. And I was kind of a bit forgiven because it's the only foot he's ever put wrong. At the same time, look, you can't excuse not for turning up for training. There is a way of handling things. Look, I do believe
it's hard to criticize one mistake. You are right, though.
Yeah,
David,
it is. But on that, I do believe with the guy, look, don't sign a 6-year contract. Just don't sign it. Obviously, look, they probably said, look, Kane, sign a 6-year contract. We're going to get players in to be at your level, right? That's probably what I'm guessing what happened. If we don't, you can go after 3. But it hasn't happened like that. And more fool him. You never have a gentleman's agreement. Look, I would never take a job on an agreement without signing a contract, ever. You just don't do it. You want all your clauses in, you put them in a contract because that makes it legally binding. Without that, nothing's legally binding or legal binding. So, he's never going to win on this. And Tottenham play all the cards here. So, look, and Grealish is gone, but we'll get into that a bit later on. Yeah. But look, Dermot, I really appreciate that. I really, really do appreciate that, my man. Such generosity, lad. I appreciate that. And then we'll take this one, Jack, and then we'll get on to the next question, my man.
Absolutely. Zoe DF here with the super chat. Big yourself up, Zoe. Absolute legend. Really do appreciate the generosity, Zoe. And she says, I agree. It's Enoch's fault. We are no longer competitive, but I wish Kane could have been more transparent to us as fans. He also should have respected Nuno a bit more. Yeah, to be honest, Zoe, this is actually maybe even perfectly said. I agree it's Enoch's fault. I agree that, Levyitis is absolutely coursing through all our veins, and we couldn't wish it out of us sooner. But at the same time, a lot of us do, we should still be responsible for our actions. Kane is absolutely responsible for his actions in the way that he signed the contract, in the way that he's gone about it, in the way that he's decided to skip training. And then he also, like you said, he could have been a bit more transparent to the fans. He could have actually said something to us. It could have been either, via social media, maybe with social media, maybe it's not the most convincing. Maybe it's not, could have come from somebody he paid, but still, it's a bit of transparency. It's a bit of headspace. We would like to be in Harry Kane's headspace just to get to know what he's thinking. Maybe that's too much to ask. Personally, I don't think it is, especially considering how much he means to this club, how much he means to us, and hopefully how much he also means to Tottenham himself, how much he thinks he values himself as a Tottenham fan. He should think that he should do this for our club. But hopefully it will resolve itself a bit more diplomatically. But Zoe, really do appreciate the super chat. David, anything to say to Zoe?
Just I know Bob wants to come in on this, so I'll let Bob in, to be fair. Zoe, look, just thank you for the support. Look, it's half a dozen of one, half a dozen of the other. Both people are at fault, really. But look, with Kane, sometimes he's gone down to Levy's level. Just be bigger than that. Just be bigger than that. Do what you're supposed to do. That's where I'm kind of at on in a minute. But yeah, it's a tough one because I love Harry. But look, Tottenham will survive without Harry. Tottenham was my first love. I started supporting Tottenham when I was watching Jurgen Klinsmann, David Ginola, players like that. Not Harry Kane. So look, with Harry, he should be turning up to should be turning up to training, and that's the end of Bob.
I basically Zoe's just said exactly what I've been saying since Monday. Is it's all again Enoch's fault. It is down to them, but we can separate. We should be clever enough and understanding enough to separate both issues.
Yeah,
I do believe Kane's probably let himself down a bit and he's probably regretting it a bit by not turning up. But the fact he's not even in the country, that should have. He panicked. But all we just needed, like Zoe said, just a bit of clarity. He's awake because what is allowed by him not turning up is for everyone to make up their own narrative and opinions and point the finger at Kane. And I hate that because he is a legend. He is one of the best players that I've ever seen in a Tottenham shirt. And I've supported Tottenham for 40 years. He's up there. He's one of the best. But it saddens me that there's so many people pointing the finger at Harry Kane and questioning his character. That's what saddens me. But you can't blame him because it's Harry Kane's actions that allowed it to happen. So he should have just turned up or made things clear so we could have had stats and facts. Because believe me, if we had stats and facts, the finger would be pointing at Levy and Enoch a whole lot more. And there's hardly any, mate. And that's what saddens me. It surprises me that there's hardly any people out there banging the drum against Levy and Enoch because they're the whole reason why we're in this at this crossroad now with regards to Kane, and it's unfortunate and surprising.
Yeah, big up Zoe. I appreciate the support. What story says Mourinho, the poisonous prick, turned Harry's head? Look, that could be a case. That's an interesting take. Yeah, it could be the case. Look, it could be the case. Mourinho's come in, he's gone, and Harry Kane's looking around. He's like, I'm never going to win it in here. So it could be that Mourinho kind of, it could be the case. But look, one thing I do want to say on Harry Kane, and just quickly, because I know I do want to get to more of these questions from Jacko here. Look, Harry Kane's a human being, right? Now, no one goes through life without making a mistake. Everyone makes a mistake. And if he does stick around and he does stay at Tottenham, right, we have to get back behind this guy. There's no point in booing if he's running out with our jersey on him, right? We have to put that aside. It's the first step he's kind of put wrong. And get back to the good memories and everything else, everything else that he's provided us. Because let's be honest, we wouldn't have hit some of the heights we hit without him. You know what I mean? So this guy has given everything to Tottenham. He really has. Let's be fair about the situation. And if he does run out in a Spurs jersey next season, let's get behind him. I know we will. I know people love Kane. I think a lot of the reaction was a bit overreaction because how much people love him and it really cut deep with them. It's it's like breaking up with a girlfriend sort of thing. It is. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll be depressed if he leaves. But at the end of the day, look, if he's running out in a Tottenham jersey, we have to put it behind us and move on and get behind him again.
But do you not think, guys, that we need to know sooner rather than later? Because what we've got at the moment, I really think that our rebuild that clearly is evident. We need one. Romero's. Oh, you got to answer that on screen. No, don't you think we need a resolve sooner rather than later? Purely and simply, till we know what's happening with Kane, we can't rebuild properly. Because at the moment, we're thinking about attackers. Oh, would he be able to play with Kane? Is he going to play instead of Kane? Is Kane going? Oh, if Kane stays, he can play behind him. Oh, we can give Kane a rest. Well, Kane might not even be there. Let's bring in the striker and another striker. Or will he be able to play alongside Kane? Can he play in the two, this new striker? Because we need another striker. And at this time moment, it's all up in the air. There's no definitive answers. There's no clarity. So I do feel we need one way or another. If he's going to go, fantastic. Our blessing. See you later. But if he's going to stay, fantastic. We'll wait. You can have 2 weeks off, mate. That's not a problem. We'll wait. But I think we need some clarification because I do believe our rebuild, of course, can continue. But the 100% rebuild, Nuno needs to know what kind of formation, because Harry Kane is our best player. If he's staying, they need to start thinking about tactics around this player. If he doesn't stay, then it's a different personnel. Maybe we need to adjust, adapt. So I think we need clarity ASAP. So it's good for the team, certainly good for the fan base, and good for the manager and Kane himself. So I think sooner or later it can go on for another day or so. But I do think for the purpose of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, not Kane Football Club, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, we need clarity so we know where to go. I do believe we need that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely. And just 2 bits of news to bring to you guys. Charlie Eccleshare, I believe he's from The Athletic. He's put out a tweet there. Tottenham Hotspur have accepted a season-long loan offer for Jaffa Tanganga from Galatasaray. He's not in a rush to make a decision, though, and still wants to be at Spurs this season. If it looks like insufficient game time this season, then a loan becomes more likely. And then Fabrizio Romano has tweeted, Christian Romero has done a U-turn. No, I'm only messing. Christian Romero successfully completed first part of his medical as new Tottenham player in Italy. He's flying to London today to complete the second part and then sign with Spurs until 2026.
Romero has ordered the pilot to turn the plane around.
Yeah. Levy's not going to pay for the air fuel, so we're going to turn it around.
Romero has decided to cancel his EasyJet on the way. Yeah.
Big up.
But absolutely, guys, fantastic answers there. But moving on here to maybe a bit of more of the Kane saga news here with Jack Grealish signing for Manchester City for a reported £100 million. Woo! Does this confirm that Harry will have to come to terms with Man City electing not to sign him this summer? Does this mean that's, could City still sign him this summer? I'm not sure how you feel about it. You two, could it still be possible? Could they somehow maybe find some, money under, the very expensive couches, and be able to afford it? What do you guys think? Will Harry Kane still be able to leave this summer, or will he, unfortunately have to come to terms with, sticking with Tottenham this season? What do you guys think?
Look, I think the fact that Jack Grealish has gone to City kind of confirms that Kane probably will be staying. Look, the reason why I think this, and let me be clear, this is only my opinion, because they could very well look that Levy just does what I think he won't do. I don't think he's this stupid, but just hear me out, right? So if we let Kane go to City, right, and I've said this on the watch along earlier, it's not just as easy as selling him because he doesn't want to be here, right? You have to change your whole system. You have to bring in 2 strikers, not 1. You have to bring in 2. You have to change your whole system, your whole way of playing, your whole attacking sort of patterns of playing, stuff like that, right? Not only that, you sell them, you're 4 weeks to get your targets in, which not only that, which kind of means you're kind of panicking to get your players in because you never planned for this situation, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the right players in. But then also, you might not be able to get your players in because other teams might not be able to get their replacements in. And when it comes to 3-4 weeks left, they're not going to let players go unless they're surplus to requirements. If it's a main player, they're not going to let them go without having a replacement lined up. So it's a knock-on effect. You know, then the team that team is going to buy a striker off, they're not going to let their player go until they have a replacement. So everything becomes a lot more complicated to do. So it's not just as easy as saying sell Kane. And I just don't think Daniel Levy would be stupid to give himself 4 weeks to sort this mess out, completely change all the preseason plans that Nuno has been working with, put them up in air, and come up with a complete new system to fit in 2 new strikers, and get them up to speed on everything. It's just sacrilege. It's absolutely stupid if we do it now. I think the best agreement we can come to is just say, look, Kane, you're staying for another year. City, we'll sell you Kane next season. Because then it gives us the whole summer to properly plan, get the players in early and get them in for pre-season, and then we can work on that. I just think it'd be absolutely stupid for us to let him go, with such little time left in the window, and it'll completely change everything we've worked on pre-season. It'd be an absolute stupid move.
Excellent context, I think, brought into it, David. Bob, quickly, do you think maybe this is, the end-all be-all for Kane? Does this mean that Kane just has to come to terms with, the fact that Man City didn't want to pay enough for him?
I think let's be realistic.
Wanting to say what I want to say, maybe,
if City want to buy him, they can. If City want to, they have got the money. If they want to go in and buy Harry Kane, they can. The fact is that I know it doesn't work out like this. I know Matt Hayes mentioned this before, and I was comparing it to Lukaku. The fact he's going for 130 million possibly, but with it going to the same team, if they value Jack Grealish at 100 million, there's no way they can stand back and say, right, Harry Kane's worth 100 million as well, because it's not. It's worth, I'd go as far as twice the player, if not at least half more the player. So 150 minimum. And if City really want him, they can go for him. And I'll be honest, if 160 came in, then you would have to think twice about it. Of course you would. But like Dave's just said, I don't think they've got the money. I don't think they'll come in for him. The only thing I probably disagree, Dave, is by saying, oh, come on then, just stay for another year, then you can go Man City. I don't want that mentality at the club, mate. I want him to say no, mate.
The thing is, we've done it before with Luka Modric.
I know.
His life.
Yeah,
and I do believe Harry Kane really is more ties to the club than what Luka Modric did.
Yeah, but I think we just need to start aiming higher. Modric, be it he only was there for like 3-4 years, I can understand that. But Harry Kane's homegrown. Levy should be able to look at him in the eye and say, no, stay here. You watch us go. We've already got Romero in, hopefully. Fingers crossed, he'll be holding the shirt soon. Look at us go. We're going to bring this guy. You want a vision. You want ambition. Watch us go. And then there's no chance. Give Harry Kane the chance to turn around and say, you know what, I can see things happening here. I want to stay. Rather than promise him that we're going to be in the same kind of shit position in after a year, you can go to Man City. No. Stay with us. You watch us go. You'll win a trophy. That's the ideal situation, isn't it?
Even if we do say, look, you can go, right? We still have that whole season to turn it around, to try and get his head to do a U-turn. So that, in a way, like what I'm getting at is if you temporarily put a solution to the problem, you have a whole year. You have 4 weeks in this window and the January window to put everything right, to convince Kane to stay and that we're going in the right way, and for us to get on the field and play some proper football. And then that way you might be able to convince Kane to do a U-turn. Look, it's a situation that, look, we all kind of knew was going to come one day. Yeah. It's here. We don't want it to happen. Look, I get the whole thing. If he doesn't want to be here, sell him. I get it. But with this one, it's not as easy as that. I just don't think it's as easy as that. Like I was explaining, it's just the timing of everything. It's wrong. I would be more comfortable to let it happen at the start or at the end of next season, the start of the summer. That's when I think would be the ideal time. But look, it's Daniel Levy. Who the fuck knows what he's going to do, to be honest with you. He's probably already counting the money, probably already stuffing a couple of million under his mattress, and then, whatever else he spends the money on, going out to, wherever, where's Joe Lewis, out in the Bahamas or whatever, getting massages and stuff like that.
Totally agree, David. And like, Lazy even said earlier, Levyitis, it's coursing through all of us. I really love that term. It's coursing through all of us. You can't get rid of it. It's worse than the flu. But Dusty Tones here, love that name, Dusty Tones, and very generous as well with the super chat. And it says here, I think it's better he leaves now and let Spurs build the team now rather than next year. I think with Nuno, etc., I think with Nuno, it's the right time to start building. To be honest, it might be a little bit too late. I kind of maybe would agree with that, Dusty Tones. If he were to maybe leave now, we would be able to have lots of time to be able to deal with, some of the incoming, transfers. But, it's a bit too late. We have too many other players we need to ship out. We have too many other holes we need to fill. There are too many other vacancies. There are too many other places we need to improve the squad. And it's a bit too late. I wish that were the case, where we might have a lot of money to play with. I would rather not see Kane go. I'd rather not even talk about this at all. And so I think it is a bit too late. Dusty Tones, I do see where you're coming from, though. And I would like to give Nuno a bit of a rebuild. I would love to see Nuno play with a lot of money, be able to bring in some Portuguese influence. Maybe Pedro Gonçalves. I've said his name a billion times. I'll say it a billion times more. But I think it is a bit too late. And again, I would still hate to see Kane go. What do you think, David?
Yeah, no, look, I can see where he's coming from. Look, I'm of the opinion as well. Look, if he wants to go. But for me, it's the timing. I think, look, we have to get the timing spot on. Look, sometimes us Spurs fans are too knee-jerk reactionary. We've seen it with what happened with Mourinho. We sacked Mourinho without really thinking too deep into the situation. What manager's going to want to come to Tottenham? That's why we went through the cycle we did. That's why we started getting in players later than we did. It's all a knock-on effect, and we cannot afford to have another knock-on effect this summer. We really can't. We already have enough work to do with getting in a right back, a centre back, and improving the defence, let alone having to go and get strikers, probably a centre attacking midfielder, just to cover the assistant goals that Harry Kane brings. So for me, I think it's all about timing, and I think next summer is better. But look, that's only my opinion, Dusty Tones. I really appreciate the super chat, my man. And look, it's 50-50. Let him go now. Let the rebuild happen now, or in the summer. Who knows, my man? But I really appreciate the comment. And yeah, look, you have a fair point. I'd like to see Nuno given the money to spend too, my man. Appreciate that, lad. Absolute legend. And then one here from Dan N, and then we'll crack on with the next question.
Big up, Dan.
Dan N here. He's saying Romero's in, but Fabio's work has just begun. Sell and upgrade at center back and right back and midfield, and potentially try to sell and replace Kane. Has his work cut out for him, though? Yeah, he does have his work cut out for him. And like I said, I do think, Fabio has kind of maybe start off, maybe with a bit of a handicap. He kind of doesn't, he's maybe started off a bit late. He hasn't really been given all the time in the world to be able to make all the signings or maybe even think about Spurs as much as he would like to. So I'm not really expecting too much. But with some of the things he's maybe been rumored with doing, Bob is going to hate the way I phrased that. But, with the stuff he's been putting himself in the papers doing, the stuff he's been, telling the reporters that he's been doing, I couldn't love it more. I couldn't lap it up anymore. And I absolutely love it. And Dom Paratici, as much as he's, supposedly been working behind the scenes, I still will say I do need to see a lot more players come through. I need to see that right back come in. I couldn't see that right back come in sooner enough. And maybe the midfield as well, considering that, I really do feel like we are a bit light in there. And I do think we are maybe asking a lot of players like Skippy to step up a bit. So I would like to see a midfielder come in. But absolutely, Dan, and I completely agree. Couldn't agree more. David, anything to say to Dan here?
Yeah, no, just appreciate that, man. Really appreciate the support. Fabio's work. Look, it's just begun in context because we've been so delayed in getting Fabio in the door and getting the manager in the door. So, look, with 4 weeks, first few games probably a bit of a write-off, to be honest with you, if we're being realistic. But we need to get the work done and we need to get the players in. Big up, Dan N. Really do appreciate the support, my man. Everyone, there's 385 people watching. Make sure you have smashed a like on the stream. Let's get the likes up to like 300. Let's get there as well. Make sure you get over and check out Bob Spur TV as well, and follow Jack on Instagram. Really appreciate the support. And then Jack, fire the questions at us, lad.
Absolutely, David. Guys, it's a simple one here. Do you think Kane would down tools if Levy told him he had to wait till next season? In the case of, the Grealish deal, in the case of maybe what actually might be happening to Kane, do you think that Kane would down tools this upcoming season? Bob, I'm going to start with you.
First of all, the answer to someone asked the question, Bob, would you take 130 for Kane? No chance. That's the same as Lukaku, and Kane's twice a player, so no chance to take 130. Secondly, would Kane down tools? See, the thing is that I don't think he would. I think he'd always give 100%. Is Tottenham through and through. He bleeds Tottenham, and I think he'll give a 100%. But unfortunately, but because of his silly little actions, it will give the opportunity for the fan base when he does, if he stays, which I believe he will, and he has a bad game, it will give the chance to some of the fan base, Dave, to actually point the finger at Kane and say, you know what, you don't care about Tottenham anyway because you missed training at the beginning of the season. It's given that opportunity. I totally disagree with it, but you know what the fan base are like, mate, and they'll do that. And that's the only unfortunate thing that's happened out of this, that his character's been questioned. I don't believe he'll down tools. I don't think, and I'm sure fans are fickle. Fans are fickle. As soon as he starts banging in the goals, we'll be it's fantastic.
Everyone will be killing it again.
Tottenham legend, but we all know when he has a bad game, because he will. Every player has a bad. When he has a bad game and he's gone 2 or 3 games or 2 games without scoring, there will be the element of fan base who'll start pointing the finger at Harry Kane, and they'll have a reference point. Then the reference points will always be, you didn't turn up for training for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and that is the unfortunate. That's why I'm so pissed off with his action. Not the fact he should have turned up, but I know we all know what the outcry is going to be, and what the narrative and agenda is going to be with some Kane fans. So that's the unfortunate. I don't believe he will, but I believe people will see it as him downing tools when he has a bad game.
Yeah, and Gogama here quickly with the super chat and the super sticker as well. Gogama, really do appreciate it. I really do hope that you've been enjoying this Wednesday's Kaniki Answer Me. I feel like it's been a bit of a hectic one, considering we've just watched maybe the first important preseason. We had to get that out of our bloodstream. Kind of talk about that. But I do hope you're going to be enjoying some of these questions. And Gogama, I'd love to see your answer as well for one of these as well. When it comes to whether you think Kane might down tools this upcoming season. But as well, we have a super chat. Before I get to David here, I got Jerome's answer here, David. And Jerome Corridor again. Jerome, please big yourself up for the super chats. Really do appreciate the support. I really do appreciate the generosity as well, Jerome. Jerome, it's a bit of tradition around here. We do need to know, what kind of, desserts on the table tonight. Is it a Haagen-Dazs? Is it, a bit of Ben and Jerry's as well? Maybe you're a bit of a baker, maybe you make something for yourself. Yeah, maybe a bit of a brownie.
Chocolate man, I know.
Yeah, he could be a chocolate man. Maybe just has some, Ghirardelli, a bit of maybe some, who knows? Who knows what he has in the fridge tonight for himself? But I do hope you're rewarding yourself for this generosity, Jerome. And his answer here for the last question, he says, I don't think Kane will down tools. He's not that kind of player at all. I think he would work even harder for City to come. I think he would work more even harder for City to come for him next summer if he stays this summer. Yeah, maybe he might even want to have to advertise himself a bit more. I feel like he already gave himself, the best advertisement, the best, statement from his last season's work. But like I said, he has to wait until it's, the right time to sell him. If he still wants to leave, he can't leave early. It's not how it's going to work here. And it's not how it's going to go, to be honest, unless he, really told us that early that he wanted to go and Levy just told them flat out no. That's, his problem. But also if he told us a bit late, that's also his problem. So to be honest, it is kind of a lose-lose situation for Harry here. But I do hope that he absolutely, again, just performs like he did last season and just kind of, sticks to it and sticks to kind of that professional attitude and professional work rate. Absolutely, Jerome. But what do you think, David?
Yeah, look, this can kind of tie into what I'm going to say. And Jerome, I've just come up with a brainwave, so you're getting this fresh off the top of the Irish Hotspurs head, lad. But the reason why, let me tell you why Harry Kane will not down tools. And no one said it. No one's mentioned it. Haven't seen anyone say it before. The World Cup's right around the corner. He's not going to down tools. He's going to want to play the World Cup. He's not down in tools.
Yeah.
He'd play himself out of the World Cup squad. He's not going to do it. He wants to go to the World Cup. He loves playing for England. He's told he's coming back to Tottenham. He's going to sit there and he's going to play like a good little boy. It's that simple. World Cup coming up round the corner. He's not down in tools. People need to start thinking about this. Jerome,
big up.
He says he is not the kind of player. Look, and plus he's not that kind of player. Even if the World Cup wasn't around the corner, I don't think he would. But the fact the World Cup is around the corner, I think you can take it as a certainty that he's not going to down the tools. We know how much he loves playing for England. We know how much every player loves playing in a World Cup. It's probably their first dream ever is to represent the country in a World Cup. So there's no way he's down in tools. He says, I think he would work even more harder for City to come in from. Exactly. He comes back, has an unbelievable season like Luka Modric. It's going to make it virtually impossible for them not to come in. But look, Jerome, just remember, I agree with you. And it's definitely, he's not down in tools. With the World Cup up round the corner, he's not down in tools. It's stupidity.
Definitely.
Big up, Jerome. Really appreciate the support. And again, this guy knows his ball.
Yeah. Absolutely. He came at us with the Winks comment right from the beginning, David, and he hasn't disappointed ever since. So, Jerome, I really do appreciate this generosity. And also, I do appreciate this wisdom as well, Jerome. I do appreciate, getting in, a bit of insight into your football brain. And also, we do appreciate, just the fact that you've been able to, be so generous enough to answer a lot of these Can you answer me questions in the form of a super chat. Anyone else is welcome to, if they feel so kind enough, if they're feeling generous enough. So everyone, but please at least, give your answers to some of these questions in the comments. I love looking at them. I love to know what the Harris Army has to say. But yeah, moving on here, Ganesh Prabhu or Ganesh Prabhu. I'm sorry if I got it wrong here, Ganesh, but he says he's got a super sticker here for us, and it's absolutely class with the super sticker there, David and Ganesh. I really do appreciate the support. I do hope that you're enjoying the Can you answer me tonight, and I do appreciate the super sticker as well, Ganesh. That's a good one as well. I do appreciate it, Ganesh. And again, I do hope you're enjoying yourself, and I do hope you enjoyed that comeback in the second half as well, Ganesh. But guys, I think we need to move on to the next question here. And it's going to be, again, unfortunately, a bit of a Kane, kind of related question again, but it is kind of the flavor of the week. Unfortunately, we're going to have to, push ourselves through it, despite how much we wouldn't like to see this be, kind of the big news. But guys, it's going to be on this gentleman's agreement that we've been, so privy to learning about. With the gentleman's agreement, has it been something that you guys think has always been on the table with Harry Kane? Has it always been maybe this unofficial transfer request, that he's maybe kind of said to Levy, like, hey, at any point when maybe I feel like the club isn't progressing, like we said, I'd like a way out. But when we think about it in other terms, is that really just an unofficial transfer request you can just put on the table at any point in time? Does that seem like a bit too much? Does that seem reasonable? What do you guys think? Is that maybe what the gentleman's agreement is? What even is a gentleman's agreement? How do we go about this? Bob, what do you make of this gentleman's agreement? Of what do you actually think it really is?
That's the thing, isn't it, mate? We don't know. We
is
just
it an
don't know.
Unofficial transfer request? That's what I think it is. It's like, something you just put on the table at any time, like, get out of jail free card, let me out of Spurs, kind of a agreement. And it seems, what do you think it is? Sorry to interrupt.
No. That's right. It could be that. It could be that Levy turned around to Kane and said, or Kane said, look, are we going to invest in the squad properly? And Levy said, yeah, we're going to invest in X, Y, Z, and we're going to bring in X, Y, Z, and we're gonna show a bit of ambition, and we're gonna qualify for the Champions League by a certain date, etc., etc. I'm sure it's ambitious related. I'm sure it's to do with the club moving forward, because if we had moved forward and we showed a bit of ambition, we wouldn't be in this position. So I'm sure it's related to that. Specifically what it entailed, we just don't know. It could have been a transfer. It could have been for the betterment of the club. You'd like to think it was a case of Kane saying, I want to stay here, but I'll only stay here if you do X, Y, Z. Promise me that. And Levy said, okay, fair enough. and it hasn't happened. We haven't progressed. So it's obviously related to that. Maybe progression led to a transfer. So yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Is obviously Spurs progressing, and if they didn't, Kane leaving, and how that's been put in place. The specifics we just don't know. But yeah. But again, you're probably ill-advised. What's a gentleman agreement and a verbal agreement worth today, especially in such a large business,
especially with Levy-itis.
Exactly. The words gentleman and Levy shouldn't be put in the same sentence anyway. So
same paragraph.
But yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, and as well, Bobby, I was just going to say, when do you think even this gentleman's agreement was, even agreed upon?
Probably when he signed the contract. He probably had a vision 3 years down the line saying, look, we need to be at this position, and I'll continue. I just find it really hard to understand why they would talk about this gentleman agreement and bring it up and everyone's talking about it, but not have it in the contract. If it's that particular that you're willing to go on strike for it, if it's that important, if it holds that much value, why not put it in the contract? And I'm sure Levy would have done his best to talk him out of it. But as an agent, you'd demand it, wouldn't you? Or you wouldn't have signed the contract. So it's a bit. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, definitely. David, what do you make of this gentleman's agreement, David?
I just want to say, first of all, the Harris Army, you guys are jokes. You've been cracking me up there last few minutes looking at them. You guys are absolute legends. I love it. And there's a guy saying, does the Harris Army ever sleep? Yeah, you can take that as a no. We don't. When it comes to the gentleman's agreement, look.
Is it an unofficial transfer request, David? What do you think it is?
Someone put in a comment there, the Gary Neville interview was probably an unofficial transfer request. You know what I mean? Like he done with fraud spots towards the end of the season. Look, we all know an agreement is worth nothing unless it's written on paper. That's the old saying, especially over here in Ireland. Agreement, it's nothing unless it's on paper. So that's the short and sweet to it. That's it. Unless it's on paper, there's no point in sitting there crying about it. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, Levy done him. He probably sat there smoozing him, bringing him out to his favourite restaurant, everything else. Nah, look, Harry, we don't have to put that in. We're friends. You know what I mean? And as soon as it comes around to it, it's like, it's just not in the contract, Harry. You know what I mean? So, look, Harry Kane's probably angry because Levy done one on him. You know what I mean? Let's be honest about the situation. But look, an agreement is nothing unless it's on paper. That's why they use contracts and everything else like that. That's why he signed his 6-year contract. Could have put something in the contract that, after 3 years, he has a release clause. There's other ways around it. Didn't happen. So it's kind of like at the moment, it's kind of like tough titties. They play with the cards you've been dealt with. But yeah, next time he'll learn. Whatever you want, you put it in the contract.
It's in the text.
It's sad though, isn't it? It's sad though, guys, isn't it? It's sad, isn't it, guys? The fact that we're having to do all that. You didn't do it. You didn't. There's nothing in writing. Oh, but you promised. Oh, no, but there's nothing in writing here. Look. Yeah, but you promised. It just hurts that you see our best striker, the best striker in the world, who is so fortunate to play for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, having a tit for tat with our owner. It's just a sad state of events, and it is. It does hurt. It's horrible to see. And he said, she said. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? It's frustrating. It's making us a bit of a laughing stock. I'd say it goes back to the end of last season. I'd go back as far as the 6 days prior to the League Cup final. We've been nothing but a laughing stock, and it hurts, man. It hurts. It's just unfortunate we're having to sit here and try and justify Kane's actions and try and justify the contract, the gentleman's agreement, whatever it is. It hurts, man. It hurts.
Definitely. But guys, really appreciate those answer there. Moving on here, it is going to be moving away from the Kane, kind of stories and sagas. So unless you guys have any maybe final thoughts on Kane, I'd be happy to hear them. But we are going to be moving on elsewhere. So I am going to give you guys It seems like there's nothing else, to be said about the Kane. I'm actually happy to hear it. It's kind of making me sick to continue to talk about it. So let's move on. Guys, Spurs have finally seemed to have squeezed Romero out of Atalanta's grasp. It's almost like a bit, Bob, it's kind of like negotiating a hostage situation, a bit of a 0-30 kind of situation, where, it was a bit hard, figuring out where Romero was, at what time of night, we would ship him into the country, where the work permit's going to be organized, it was almost like a James, kind of a James Bond, Jason Bourne bit situation, when it comes to the diplomacy of even negotiating this, Bob. But now we finally have gotten him in. Do you think Romero is worth this reported £50 million fee? Is there something about him that just makes him as good as he's supposedly worth? Why should we have, went this long with him? Is he worth it all, as everybody is saying? But do you love the guy? How excited are you about Romero?
2 words, Ben White.
Oh, they got done.
I'll rest my case. If Ben White's worth 50 million, mate, and we've got Romero in, Italian defender, hopefully in, let me retract, hopefully in. If we manage to get the Italian defender of the year, cheaper, by the way, than a Ben White, I think that justifies everything, really.
Definitely. David, how excited are you about the Romero signing? Is it worth every penny? Is it worth every penny, David, to bring someone in like Romero?
Well, Jack, you know what they say. You know what they say. You can't put a price on class, or you can't put a price on whatever it is. But somehow we managed to. You know what I mean? We've got class in. It only cost 50 million. Like Bob said, Ben White, they got absolutely bent over and smacked White for that deal. And I'm absolutely delighted they got shafted. No, look, Romero's a classy bit of business. You can't buy the mentality this guy brings. You can't buy football IQ that this guy brings. He's got it in abundance with his interceptions, his recoveries, his aerial ability, his passing ability, which will be brilliant for defensive purposes with stuff coming in, from like set pieces and crosses, and for attacking set pieces as well from corner kicks and all. This guy's going to attack the ball like a savage. And because he's so much of a savage, eventually the players he's marking is going to get pissed off and stop going for the ball. So I'm absolutely loving it. This guy is going to be an absolute animal. And like I said, you can't buy class, but somehow we put a price on it. I'm absolutely loving life. Romero's coming in, and he's going to be an absolute dog. You can't wait. Let's fucking go. Let's have it. Bring on Christian Romero.
Definitely.
And not so Spursy. Don't worry, they're on order.
I can't wait to hear him growl at people, just like, can't wait.
They're on order. Don't worry.
Like, Bob, what do you know about Romero? Like, what do you feel like you know about him? Like, what can he, bring to the squad or defense? What kind of impact will he have? Will it be similar to maybe the impact Højbjerg had on the midfield? What can you educate us maybe on when it comes to Romero? What do you know about him? Or maybe what about him, excites you maybe in particular?
Yeah, like any player, obviously it's a wait and see. We hope he does well. I hope he works out absolutely fantastic. But we can only get excited by what we've seen if and when he comes in. I think he's played comfortably in a back three. If it does go to a back four Atlanta, he does play down the right side rather than left. So hence the reason we'll definitely need a left-footed centre back in, or someone who comfortably slots into there. He reminds me of Vidic and Jan Vertonghen. He really does. His mentality, his growl. He literally plays with it. I know David's making the sound, which are a bit scary, but he literally plays like he's growling. He's a sort who'll make, and David will probably relate to this. He's a kind of player who'll make a last-ditch tackle and get up and celebrate it like he's just scored a goal. He's that type of player. He'll go over to Højbjerg and do a high five and hug him.
They'll have a defending celebration. Fortnite dances for defending.
That's it. And that's what we need. We need someone at the back who will take command, give instructions. We hope he can make the likes of a Dyer a better player. I think it's a foregone conclusion with Dyer, but you never know. It might help him. It might surprise all of us. But Romero, for me, like I said, Romero, Spurs and Kleenex have all been associated with me for God knows how long. I just want to see it over the line. I've rated him. I rated him back in October, Jack. I really spoke about him back in October, saying he is a young defender we need to look out for when we're having problems last season. That's how much I rate him. And I've been rating him ever since. So finally to see him, I thought he'd never get done, mate. And obviously he still hasn't officially. I never thought we'd go for a play like that. Never mind finally getting him over, hopefully. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic, mate. The best signing, the best statement signing we've had since, mate, I'll probably go as far as Van der Vaart.
Hard to think about, Hard to think about, You're right there, Bobby. David, what do we need to know about Romero? Obviously we had our little segment, the other night when it came to Romero and all the stats. But what makes you excited about him, David? What makes you kind of giddy about Romero? What makes you kind of, big excited just to see even those, that shirt picture or even, him just warming up? What makes you just so excited about this signing?
Just speaking of when he's holding the shirt, I would love him to hold up the shirt and then take a bite out of the arm. I'd absolutely love it. I really would, right? But look, with Romero, it's what money can't buy. It's that mentality. It's that desire, that hunger to go and win the ball, that desire to make that challenge, like it's and celebrate it like it's scoring a goal, Jack. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You cannot buy that. You can't buy the football IQ. Like I was saying already, interceptions, recoveries. That's all about being able to read the game, know where the ball's going, know what time to go for it so that you don't get exposed or you don't get bet to the ball. His passing accuracy is very, very good passing accuracy. Jack, we went through it last night and everyone, I encourage you to check it out because if there's anyone that can ever paint a picture with stats, it's Jack. Go back and even if you don't want to watch the whole show, go back and look at the last 20 minutes. The stats will be up. Everything that Romero, does through 90 minutes compared to all of our defenders. He beats them in every single thing and not only beats them, but beats them by a mile. This guy's an out-and-out defender. It's that South American mentality, that roughness. They all grew up on the streets. They know how to look after themselves. They don't go crying to the ref for everything. They're men. They know how to look after themselves. He'll take a yellow card. He doesn't want to concede a goal. He'll take a yellow card if he has to. Not a problem. No more Mr. Nice Guy. He's going to compliment Højbjerg perfectly. And for me, look, the guy's sound in the air. He's brilliant in the air as well. So all around, he's a brilliant defender, and it's really a step up and improvement of what we have. Look, the Premier League's a different animal. But look, this guy's been handpicked. We see like I was saying earlier, it kind of ties into what we were saying earlier with the pressing. This guy is coming in and naturally has it in his game from being at Atlanta with the interceptions and stuff like that, right? So he naturally has that. So he's been brought in to play into this pressing system. Honestly, it's like putting butter through a knife, baby. It's going to be
Absolutely. And everybody in the Harris Army, please let us know how excited you are with Romero. Everybody's giving their comments. Everybody's also enlightening me on some of the things that they think about Romero. And so it's actually class to see as well in the comments. Really, I do appreciate it, Harris Army, for giving your answers to all these questions and also seeing your excitement for Romero. But there's still 340 people watching in the building. It's the Harris Army. People have said it. They don't sleep. They're global. It's everybody around the world. It's the army that never sleeps. It's the army where the sun never sets. And everybody, please continue to give your answers in the comments for all of these Kaniki Answer Me questions. And then if you're feeling generous enough as well, feel free to donate, with the answer to one of these questions as well, or just even a talking point for us to stop anything that you're thinking about as well. But we're going to move on here, lads. And it is a bit of, something that's been, this one's been of
What's the story says Romero plays in his bare feet. That sums him up.
He throws him off before even the game starts, right before the game starts, right before the ref can stop him. But guys, this is something, has been kind of a common talking point, amongst kind of the Spurs fan bases, right? The order in which we go about these signings, what's the priority of some of these players that we need to bring in? Obviously, we would like to bring in all of these positions maybe at once. Obviously, we would like to be able to fix all of the vacancies, fix all the deadwood areas at once. But at the same time, which ones would you fix first if you had to go about it that way? For example, I have it written out for you right there. Maybe the second center back first, then maybe a right back, a center mid after that, however you really want to go about it. And you can think about it that way. Maybe while you guys are thinking, since I haven't maybe answered all these questions as in depth, obviously, as you guys have, I'm actually going to go personally with, and you guys might, maybe debate me here on this one. I'm going to go with my first, suggestion there, which is the second center back first, then getting a right back, a center mid, maybe to help out with Skippy and Højbjerg and such, and the rest of the squad, a striker, and then a right winger. That's personally how I would go about it. Maybe you guys might think differently about it. I'd love to know what you guys think, but maybe Bob, what would be your priority, and if you were to list it out?
Sorry, I was eating a crisp there.
No.
No. I'm with you. The only thing I'd change is probably the centre back. The midfielder. Centre back for me is really important, especially with Romero in. I just find it hard to envisage Romero being comfortable alongside a Dyer or a Sanchez. I really do think he needs a centre back who complement him. Hence the reason why I've changed my mind on Conor Cody. I think it'd be ideal alongside Romero, and it wouldn't be that expensive as well, and Premier League experience, so they could probably sponge off each other. Right back, and I've got a funny feeling Dave's going to go for a right back first. I might be wrong, but right back's obviously important. Hopefully, the Tommy Arce deal that's been going on for 18 years will finally go through. And for me, a striker, regardless if Kane stays or not, we need a striker. We need someone there. And enough of the backup. I don't know who said it, but they don't want to back. We'd rather have a striker.
Somebody who's hungry to score.
Exactly. And Valovic, however you say his name, would be ideal. And that will show a bit of intent as well. Yeah, that's it. Dave's correcting me on pronunciation.
I know that.
He's doing that much research these days. He's doing that much research
I'm all over it.
But that would be a really good intent signing for Kane himself. Yes, of course, he's only done it for one season, and we've had the likes of Soldado and a Janssen and a Vinicius who come in and haven't really pulled up any trees. But there's something different about this guy. He seems a lot more stronger, and I think he looks like a quality player. But we need a striker, I believe, before a centre midfield, because I think we're pretty stocked up in that area.
Yeah, we are.
But in an ideal world, mate, of course, I'd love someone with experience in that midfield. We spoke about it last time. But certainly centre back first, right back, striker, then midfield would be my way. Yeah.
Just before Jack takes the super chat, just something that popped into my head. Look, if you guys are ever sick of hearing my opinions, let us know in the chat and we can switch roles, myself and Jack. We can get Jack maybe to answer a few of these questions sometimes. Let us know what you think, because I'm pretty sure people would like to hear some of his answers too. So look, maybe we could do a switcheroo one day. Maybe we can do a switcheroo, halfway during the show one day. But let me know if you want to hear more of what Jack has to say. But Jack, I'll take it away, my man.
Absolutely. 90 minutes is generous enough to give his answer via super chat here. And he says, our spine is important. Our second center back is first and priority. Center mid, maybe Damsgaard, and then a striker. If Tanganga stays, if Tanganga stays, he can also play right back. Yeah, definitely. I do think that Tanganga is kind of maybe what Tomiyasu maybe could do, you might say, where Tomiyasu can play right back and center back, or maybe with Tomiyasu, it's hard to know. We only know so much about him, really, but maybe supposedly he prefers right back, but maybe it could be something a bit similar there. And then as well, with Damsgaard, I would say, I'm trying to say it correctly there. That's why I kind of said it that way. But it's with Damsgaard, I feel like he would be more of a right winger, kind of more of a number 10, not as much of a center mid. I feel like we have plenty of number 10s, maybe at this club, but he did actually perform really amazing in the Euros, almost a bit of like a James Rodriguez kind of vibes, it was giving you with how much he was taking over that team there. So honestly, I would actually love to see him come to the team as well. Maybe, partner alongside Højbjerg. I'd love to see that, a bit of Viking energy, and then a striker as well, maybe like Bobby was saying. So 90 minutes, I totally agree with you. And as well, he did stress, the spine being absolutely important, and that center back being that second center back being more crucial than ever. And honestly, 90 minutes, I couldn't agree more. And I really do appreciate the generosity in the super chat. 90 minutes, do appreciate it. David, anything to say to him?
Yeah, honestly, you have no idea how much you've actually made Jack's evening, because, right, Jack does tell me there's nothing he loves more than when he puts the questions out there. The guys putting the comments in the comment section, but the fact that you've super chatted it, you know what I mean? You've no idea how much you've made his evening. I'll be honest with you, and everyone else, you guys too, answering them like you do in the comment section, you make his day. But look, our spine is important. Second centre back, 100%, I agree with. Centre mid, yeah, I would like to get a centre mid in, but I do think we'll get away with what we have this season so far. Damsgaard, look, I know the guy had a good Euros, but me and Jack have been saying this for a while. He wasn't actually number one. I think it was Sassuolo, I think is his club. He wasn't he wasn't number one choice there. So I know he had a good Euros, but I would be rushing in for the Damsgaard deal, to be honest with you. I'll wait and see what he what this season has in store for him. I know if he has a good season, the price goes up. But look, to be honest with you, I don't want to be taking any more risks on players. You know, we bought Paulinho off the back of a World Cup. Look how that turned out, you know. And if Tanganga stays, can also play right back. Yeah, look, Tanganga can play right back. That's a good observation, good point. But look, like Jack said, if we get Tommy Assen, that kind of covers both positions. You know, right back and centre back, he can play there. But 90 minutes, I absolutely love it, man. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you got you enjoyed our answers. And everyone else out there, keep smashing that like button, keep smashing that subscribe button. Make sure you check out Bob Spur TV, follow Jack on Twitter, and keep getting them super chats in to keep help supporting us, guys. Level of quality is insane. There's a few people, Jack, saying they would actually like to hear some of your answers, Jacko. Maybe one of the questions I'll ask.
That's made his evening.
Absolutely. And also, to be honest, I will say as well, you always can rely on the Harris Army, for keeping us in check there. It's actually Sampdoria instead, David. You were too close, David. You were too close, but no cigar, David, on that Serie A team. Very, very close, though, David.
Like cigars.
It was Sampdoria, David. So no 500 points awarded there to you, David. 500 points given to someone else, given to Alexander Hilton to the Harris Army. But appreciate it, Alex. I do love that. And then as well, keeping us in check there, because I do love that we can have a Wikipedia-based Harris Army person. I wonder what happened to
covers everything, Jack.
No, but, I will say Dark Sun G, we'd love to see you back. Have not seen you in a while, Dark Sun G. And so, at some point when you come back, we would love to have you. In a way, he was, our stat search engine, David. He was kind of our human computer, with how intelligent he was when he would come back with some of the stats and some of, the references. And so, honestly, Alexander Hilton, we do have a vacancy in the chat when it comes to that. We'd be happy to fill you in with it. And, I'm sure you could fill in quite perfectly. But moving on to the next one here, guys, it is the last one before we move on to the extra time here.
Well, you're asking this one because we're going to do a little switcheroo for this one, Jack. People want to maybe hear you answer one. So just for this one question, I'm going to ask the question. So with Davinson, and I won't do it as good as Jack, but look, here we go. So with Davinson Sanchez reportedly being linked with a move away to Sevilla, Jack, should we invest in another centre-back for the future, or should we find a more experienced centre-back to bring in?
David, this kind of question was basically inspired from the idea that, with Romero, even though Romero, I think, is an absolutely complete player and, is absolutely ready for the here and now, he's still very young, right? And so he's still, there for plenty of years to come. He's still available for the future. And so I do maybe think it is possible that if we go for another center back, and we should go for another center back, then maybe, just maybe, we should consider actually somebody that is just a bit older, just somebody that is a bit more of an experienced head possibly alongside him. With that maybe in mind, I would say maybe we bring in the likes of Vestergaard, we bring in the likes of maybe Connor Cody, someone who's worked obviously under Wolves, someone that is, a bit more experienced, someone that does have, especially maybe a bit of experience in the Premier League would be nice. So maybe our two choices that would be actually quite cheap and maybe reliable choices. They aren't the best in the world by any means, but they could actually be very experienced and very level-headed center backs that are also very technically gifted, especially when it comes to, the pinging the ball around the pitch. Vestergaard and Connor Cody are very good on the ball when it comes to their on-the-ball technical ability. I would maybe like to, see someone like that, a bit more of an experienced head right next to them. And so I personally would go for Vestergaard and maybe Connor Cody alongside them. Bit of Premier League experience, bit of age, bit of wisdom as well. And again, they also are very good on the ball. So who wouldn't love that?
No, look, there you go. The Harris Army. There's Jacko's answer. Absolutely brilliant. A few people saying they'll be curious to hear what you had to say. So there, look, I'll be honest with you, asking the questions is nowhere near as fun. So Jack does play one of them, what you would call it, like Sissoko was playing for a while, one of them unheralded roles, you know what I mean, where he kind of does the dogged work, the work that no one else wants to do, you know. So big up, Jack, for always asking the questions, my man.
And
it was
it's
good
kind
to
of
get
funny.
an answer off you for one too.
People even think, some of my answers are a bit too cheap, a bit too much of an answer that Levy would like, in a way, maybe I was kind of, that's why sometimes when I'm even creating these questions, I'm thinking too much horribly in the Levy mindset, when it comes to these. So honestly, I would love to go for a bit more of an expensive one, but considering that we did already spend 50 million on Romero and we do have Levyitis coursing through our veins, I was thinking a bit cheaper. But once I get rid of the Levyitis, everyone, Harris Army, once it's gone from the bloodstream, I will think a bit more expensive. I love it. Big up, Jerry. Big up, Jerry. Bob, what are you thinking? Do we go for a better experienced head? Do we go for a cheaper option like maybe I was going for? That's an experienced one. Do we go for an expensive experienced one? Do we go for another one that is a bit younger like Romero? That's already a bit established. What do you think?
For me, sorry, mate. Someone with Premier League experience would be ideal. And like I say, Connor Cody. What we don't want, mate, is Romero to come in and feel like Kane is playing with abject players and get disheartened. That's what we don't want. We want him to come in and feel like he's playing for a big team, big club. And Connor Cody wouldn't be, for me, the ideal. We want someone like a Milenkovic. Apparently, he's going to. There's rumours of West Ham. I'd be absolutely gutted if he goes to West Ham. I do rate him. But mate, they're going to get experience somehow. You could look at the point as bring Milenkovic in and play them together and let them slowly gel into a good partnership. But I think with Romero being young, coming from abroad, I think we just need that experienced head alongside him. I know Dave's going to disagree, but I'd sniff around Boateng. I really would.
I do.
I do.
See, this is the thing,
Boateng.
though. This is where I feel about, since I maybe watch a bit of Boateng. He's actually the one where he's a bit too injury prone for me, especially considering the Premier League. He's actually made of glass. I think Boateng, especially. He even limps out. It's hard for him to even play in 90 minutes anymore. I do rate his ability, and I rate his technical ability, and I rate his defending ability, but. Yeah,
not reliable.
Especially for the Premier League, if he's going to make that switch now, he needs to be, like Sergio Ramos, you might consider, kind of level of fitness where he's able to make it, or maybe even like Thiago Silva, right? Someone who we always rated very highly has had to pull out of plenty of games, right? Because he knows he can't make it for the rest of the game. So, that's just me. But Boateng, I'd love to have.
I'll tell you who had a good game tonight. Zuma. I wouldn't have him in a million years, but he had a good game.
Yeah, he made that one really good sliding challenge. I will say, made one really good sliding challenge. Yeah. But I think that's about it, lads. Or David, did you want to answer that question? But maybe there was the reverse roles. So maybe that is kind of the price you have to pay.
No price I have to pay, lad. Reverse roles. Let's crack on with the extra time.
Absolutely. So, lads, we are moving into the extra time here. Everyone, I do know the Harris Army does love this part when it comes to the extra time. If you are new to the extra time, please, please, please stick around and answer these questions as well. The extra time, it does kind of, it's a bit more shorter segment kind of questions, a bit more shorter answers as well. I do like to answer them myself. So let's crack into it. First one here is this Kane situation more similar or more different to Bale's departure from Spurs? Personally, I'm going to actually say this one's a bit more unique, a bit more different than the Bale departure. I don't think it actually has too much in common with it. Also, because I don't think Kane's going to leave this summer. It's maybe a good way to also say that. But yeah, I just think this is maybe entirely different from the Bale scenario. Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I think with Bale, he had a season and a half of where he could see his potential. And you could see he was going to become world class, but he wasn't. Let's be honest. At Tottenham, he was the best player in the Premier League, but we just didn't know how he was going to progress. We could see the potential. Whereas Harry Kane, he's been there for so much longer. He's been world class for about 4 or 5 years, and it hurts more. It hurts more. With Bale, we could see it coming. With Kane, you can possibly see it coming as well. But with Bale, you could never see. You could understand because there wasn't a chance to really make the team better. We were playing as we were expected to. With Kane, we should have progressed. We had that chance to progress. We had that chance to become better. And the fact that he should be playing right now in a better Tottenham Hotspur Football Club team just makes it a lot different for me. So if you're weighing up with hurt, it was hurtful to see Bale go, but you can understand it. With Kane, you can understand it a bit more, but I think we're a bit more culpable to that rather than whereas Bale.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, David?
Look, they're both just shit, aren't they? Both shit situations to be in.
Yeah.
Is it similar? I suppose only time will tell. Have we spent the game money before we let him go to City? Who knows? Only time will tell on that. But I like to think Kane's staying. I like to think he's going to be here this season. And look, it's look. I wouldn't say it's similar, no, because like with Gareth Bale, like look, we all knew he wanted to go. You know what I mean? With Kane, we kind of knew, but it was a bit out of a bit of a shock on how quickly it just kind of came about. You know what I mean? And him not turning up for training, bit of a shock. So look, both situations just suck. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, interesting. Second question here, lads. If Kane were to leave this season, would you move Sonny up top or keep him on the left wing? Personally, I actually might go for the big one here and actually might move him up top here, considering, we might also, maybe buy a striker replacement. We might not want to put too much pressure on that striker. Maybe, put Sonny up top a bit more often. Maybe do a bit of that Timo Werner role, maybe for Sonny. Maybe even just keep Sonny on the left, but have him be a bit more, offensively inclined where he doesn't have to track back as much. But yeah, I'd like to see Sonny up top a bit more if Kane were to leave. What do you guys think?
All depends who we bring in, to be honest with you, Jack.
That's
if
fair.
We get the strikers in, if you get in a Vlahovic, the simple answer is if you bring in a striker, you have to back them and someone will be out on the left wing. If you don't, someone will be your striker. Bergwijn will be out on the left wing.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. Depends on replacement there.
With the signing of Gil, maybe it would be Son up front, and then Gil is the replacement for like a Lucas Moura or a Bergwijn if things aren't going well. So look, it just depends. It depends whether Kane stays or not. Look, if Kane stays and we don't get a good striker in, then Sonny will be your striker. If we do get a good striker in, you have to back him, and someone will be your left winger.
Interesting. Bob, what do you think?
100% want him out on the left. I still think I think we'll lose more from Sonny if he plays down the middle. I think out wide he's got he's got the dynamics. I think he'll still be a goal threat out left. But the biggest thing, if he's playing up front, it means we've done shit in the transfer with regards to getting someone up front.
Yeah,
we need to go out, get a good striker, so Sonny can stay in his best position, which is out left. So no, if Sonny plays up front, we're making up for a bit of a poor investment in the striker's position. So no, Sonny out left, go and get a world-class striker or a very, very good striker who can play up there, because I say if he plays up front, then we've fallen short in our transfer targets.
Yeah, definitely. Third question here, guys. Free kick is outside the 18. You just won it. You can pick one Spurs player, past or present, to take it for you. Who will it be? I'm going to start here first. Plenty are going to say Gaza. Unfortunately, I'm a bit too young to be witness to that. That probably would be my choice if I was actually, witness to his brilliance. So I've only really seen the highlights, but I would probably say him if I were live for it. But I can't, unfortunately, say that. So I'm going to have to answer Eriksen. And honestly, not too shamed in saying that. Absolutely, Eriksen would be my strong second. So it'd be Gaza or Eriksen for me.
I'd be going Gaza or Gareth Bale the first time round.
Gareth Bale the first time around, David. Good one there. Bob, what are you saying? Harry Kane?
Eric Dyer. This kid's going to go free kicks. Eric Dyer for me. No, 100% Gaza. He never took a run up apart from that one against Arsenal. The way he took a free kick as well, Dave, wasn't it? He kind of always stooped back to take it. He's always back when he took it with his instep. And he generated the pace somehow, and it always hit the target. And 8 times out of 10, he'd get a goal. And we all saw that the best free kick in Tottenham's history against Arsenal. So for me, Gaza, 100 billion%.
Love to hear that. That's why I knew I needed to start with that. If I was there for that, Bobby, I know it's kind of like with what Ellie was saying with Ozzy Ardiles. It was like, if I was alive to see Ozzy, I feel like he sounds like one of my favorite players of all time. It just seems like I was just born during the wrong era, and I would have absolutely.
That's a good one, yeah. Cranford's right. Beckham trained for us as well, didn't he? He was a schoolboy. Big up, Cranford. That's a good one.
15U Beckham, 16U Beckham.
Oh, big up.
But yeah, guys, your fourth one here, the fourth question here.
Story says huddle all day long.
Lots of people. I'm seeing lots of huddles. I'm seeing, it seems like the popular ones are Gaza and huddle here, and plenty of Bales as well. But if you could pick one Spurs midfielder from the past to join Højbjerg in the midfield, who would it be? This is the one where I am going to answer Ozzy Ardiles. I think this is going to be my Ozzy Ardiles because with what she was saying, Ellie, the other night about Ozzy, just sounds like a dream of a player, a bit of creativity, a bit of that dogged nature as well, where he'd like to come back, put in a naughty tackle, just seems like the right player for me. Maybe one that I've actually witnessed, probably Moussa Dembele, and that probably goes without question. But maybe one that I haven't witnessed, probably Ardiles.
Interesting. Look, Dad, put in what you would put in because this would be an interesting one. I want to hear from you as well. So put it in the comments what you would put. Look, for me, it's between 4 players, actually. Moussa Dembele, Huddle, Gascoigne, and Luka Modric. No, look, this is 4 tough midfielders to pick from. But I'm going to go with players from my generation. I've already given Gascoigne the free kick. But look, I can move Gascoigne out wide or something if I need to. But look, for me, oh man, I don't want to not say Luka Modric, but I'm going to go with Moussa Dembele, to be honest.
Wow.
I just think, imagine having 2 of them hardy fuckers
so ridiculous.
In midfield. People be bouncing off them all day long. But Modric has that class. I feel bad now. Oh, Luka Modric, fuck it. I'm changing. I'm Luka Modric.
If you feel bad about it, then you know which one. But Bobby, what are you thinking?
No, I don't have to second guess it. I know 100% it's going to be Gaza. 100 billion% is my best ever Tottenham player. So Gaza, and the fact is, you got to remember, he was absolutely fantastic in the Tottenham midfield with the likes of Vinny Samways, Steve Sedgwell, and David Howells. Probably mean nothing to you, Jack, but these weren't world class players. We've got Højbjerg, world class. The freedom that a Gaza would get, Dave, with a Højbjerg behind him, mate. Wow, honestly, he would rip up every single team, not just in the UK, in Europe as well, mate. It'd be absolutely awesome. We're talking alongside Højbjerg, a Gaza would be easily the best midfielder in the world, hands down, without a shadow of doubt. 1 billion%, Paul Gascoigne, the legend.
Definitely.
Bob, the old lad says here, Steve Perryman, he's probably gone for like a 2-hold midfielder sort of role.
Yeah. Steve Perryman was absolutely fantastic. Great in fullback position as well. So underrated, never had that much in the air. But he tell you what, mate, you want to see heart, you think Højbjerg's got heart, watch Perryman play. Wow.
He's thinking of the defense, David. The outlet always thinking of the defense there, right? You're always thinking about the security of what's behind, the back 4, and everything.
That's because he has Gaza running forward with the ball. Like him and running forward, so he's protecting,
Right. But everybody, that is actually the end of Kaniki Answer Me. So please, everybody, big up Bob here because Bob surprised, he survived this on his own this time, especially in the late night hours as well. Honestly, Bob, this is especially one where I will say you absolutely classed it, especially because of those 2 things just mentioned. So, Bobby, where can they find you? Where can the people look for you? Where can they find these beautiful answers once again? Maybe apart from the Irish Hotspur.
Yeah, Bob's. Well, first of all, we had a gentleman's agreement, so I had to turn up today. Secondly, Secondly, find me on Bob Spur TV. At the moment, I'm just doing one show a week till the season starts. That's on a Saturday night called In the Wall. We have guests on. So 10 o'clock Saturday night, Bob Spur TV. We talk about the week. There's a lot more to talk about as the weeks go on. And obviously, we'll be doing a preview to the Arsenal game on the Sunday. So In the Wall, Bob Spur TV. Please go over, like, subscribe. It's going pretty well at the moment. And see you Saturday, hopefully 10 o'clock on Bob Spur TV.
And if you do check out Bob Spur TV, every time you're in the comments or underneath his videos, hashtag piss off Bob, hashtag Harris Army, underneath every single one of them.
That's it.
Andy,
big up Goguma. Big up Goguma. Thank you.
But guys, do check out Bob Spur TV, man. He puts out some great content there as well. So make sure you do get over and check it out. You don't even have to type it in, believe it or not. I have the work done for you guys. It's in the description box below. So just get on that, click on Bob Spur TV, smash the subscribe button. It's that easy.
That easy, lads. It's that
Jack,
easy.
Why don't you tell people what you have coming up and where they can find you?
Yeah, David, absolutely. Listen, guys, as I probably mentioned it a couple of times, but I will mention it again. I do have my own channel coming out that will be an extension of the Flat Cap Army. It's going to be called Flat Cap Euro Talk, and it is going to be a place where you're going to find everything from the European watch along that I picked that week, from the best Champions League game watch along to, a bit of something maybe over the weekend that I might think might be the best game to watch. It'll be things like Jack's favorite itch of the week. I love my itches. It'll be plenty of things like some of the, the best young players that I think will be breaking out this season. It'll be anything from, certain like Spurs related, YouTubers I'll have on, be talking about what's going on in Europe and in terms of some of the signings as well, in terms of what's going on outside of Europe, in terms of what's going on outside, our bubble of Spurs. So if you kind of are interested in things like, even just El Clasico, even just the Bundesliga, even just Serie A, if you kind of tune into things like that, please keep an eye out for my channel, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a video in every now and again that you will definitely be interested in. And as well, my first one even is going to be what managers, I'm predicting will get the sack this upcoming season in all of Europe's top 5 leagues. So who knows? Maybe even Jose might be thrown in there, might be getting the early retirement, from Roma. Who knows who I'll pick? But keep tuned in for that. It's going to be called Flat Cap Euro Talk.
Can't wait for it.
Nah, look, I think everybody's going to enjoy it, to be honest with you. Everyone loves you, Jack, since you've come on the scene. You know what I mean? They've good respect for you. Everyone knows, when there's a player that, an obscure player, any player around Europe, the first thing in everyone's head is Jack. So the fact now they have their own their channel to go to now when they need to know about these players, it's absolutely brilliant. And I just encourage the Harris Army to give him the same support that you've given me, you've given Bob, Will Stewart, Tottenham Away, all these other channels, Paxton Road, Kieran from Let's Talk Spurs, and all the support you've shown me. I really do hope we can show it to Jack when we do get the second channel up and running. And look, the link for his the Flat Cap Euro Talk Twitter is actually in the description below, beside Jack's name. So make sure you get down there, smash that, and follow him there. Guys, look, I want to say a massive thank you to the panel for giving up their time for coming on. Well, not the panel, Bob. I want to say a massive thank you to Jack again for providing the questions and giving up his time. I want to say a massive thank you, though, to you, the Harris Army. Look, you make this chat a wonderful place to be. Everyone enjoys it. Everyone tells me how much they enjoy it. It's so guys, keep making the chat what it is. Keep chatting amongst each other. Keep answering the questions. Keep getting your thoughts in. It's absolutely brilliant and it's insane. We've carried up to 400 people at some times in this stream. Only now, because it's nearly 1:45 or 10:1, we've dropped down to 250, and it usually happens when you're plugging channels and stuff like that. But guys, make sure you all have smashed that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. I want to say a massive thank you to all the superchargers today for your support. I really do appreciate it. You have no idea how much it helps. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to you, the Harris Army, for tuning in, and anyone else as well, even if you're not subscribed. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Get your comments in underneath all these videos. Let us know your thoughts. Me and Jack, between one of us, we'll always get in there and respond and have a conversation with you and stuff like that. And look, we're going places. I truly believe that, you know, and we can't do it without your support. So just keep showing us the support you are. Keep doing everything you're doing, guys. You know, everywhere you are, hashtag Harris Army. Start making people take note of us.
Sign your receipts with it, you know, Harris Army, you know, spread the word, you know, even on your bank receipt, even just what you know, if you're picking up, you know, some, you know, whatever it is for the missus, you know, a pizza, whatever it may be, you know, picking up some food for the family, even your grocery receipt, whatever it may be, you know, just hashtag Harris Army, you know, that's what it needs to be. It needs to be spread everywhere just so the message can be spread, David.
Yeah, 100%. It's look, it's been an amazing journey so far. Stick with us. Honestly, me and Jack had a look at the thing we got today for some of the new shows. Guys, it's incredible. The two of us gave each other the evil laugh. We just looked at each other, laughed, gave that little evil laugh, you know, because we're so chuffed with it. And I know you guys are going to enjoy it too. Look, massive thank you to everybody. You know, again, make sure, actually, I keep forgetting to say this to us, but make sure you vote for us. It's up in the community section on the channel. Yeah. Make sure you get in and vote for the Irish Hotspur under Best New Content Creator. Get in there, get the votes in, and help a man out, help a channel out. Let's see if we can take this. We've only been up and running 6th October. But look, I firmly believe we can do anything when we put our mind to it. So get the votes in and let's take this fucking award and pin it up behind us as a celebration. Not only for me and Jack, but for you guys out there too. Let's do it. Come on. And as well, you know, everything you need to know about us, it's all below. Twitter, the channels, you know, and my email address. So if anyone's ever feeling down or has mental health, anything like that, you're never alone. Don't be afraid to email me, hit me up on Twitter or whatever else. Harris Army, you stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow with something, not doing anything Friday, and then I will take it into the weekend and see what's what. But guys, you're an absolute legend. Quickly, Jerry McNeil, he doesn't want us to go anywhere. He's an absolute legend. He says Harris Army needs to
outspread Levyitis.
Outspread Levyitis.
Nah, Jerry, man. Look, don't worry. We will outspread it, lad.
We spread quicker than that. Don't worry, Jerry. We spread quicker than that. You know, we're practically, you know, the Harris Army variant, you know, it's spread all over the world. You can't find it anywhere else. You can't find it anywhere else. So big yourself up, Jerry. It's honestly quicker than Levy.
And piss off Bryce, by the way. Piss off Bryce.
Yeah, but look, there we have it. Piss off Bryce, piss off Bob. Harris Army, you're all legends. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. Get your comments in underneath. And you're all legends. Stay safe. And as always, come on, you Spurs. In Nuno we trust. Roll on we trust until I take a shit in their stadium.
Yeah, leave you out.
Leave you out, like Bob says.